That's what I wrote.
Yep, sounds about right.
Hello.
Welcome everybody to tonight's episode of Call of Cthulhu. This is our Thursday, our new Thursday campaign of Roll of Fate, and it's where the spookies happen. So does anybody, before we hop into it, I do have one announcement. Well, probably several, but the first one being, it's Pyre's birthday.
So we shall all sing happy birthday simultaneously.
Oh God.
Ready?
Right, ready?
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Happy birthday to you. Nailed
This
it.
is the only sign that these people hate you more than they like you.
Nothing gives me more joy than like awkward birthday singing to people.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
never not awkward to sit there and listen to the whole song. I love that. I think it's one of like life's greatest pleasures.
I was waiting for Ty to go like the whole many more and then start off again like another round.
Right.
Everybody now in chat.
But yeah, so we had episode 1 last week, and we'll be recapping that in a second, rolling the intro. But before we do, I do have my fancy list of announcement things to go through, and then after that, I'll open it up if any of you guys have anything. So sponsor-wise, Level Up Dice again?
Yeah. BB need to be switched.
Oh, do they? Is that who I missed? You know what? That's fine. Actually, did I do
Cree's
that one?
character got real old all of a sudden.
You know, things like this happen when there be eldritch horrors about. Sponsors, Level Up Dice. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. We appreciate it. And if you go click the link down in the About section below, you can check out all of their dice and buy some, hopefully. And then sometime in the near future, they'll be shipped to you. Who knows when, but...
Wow, shots fired.
She might be lying to you.
She chose to, instead of getting locked up in the warehouse, she chose to get locked up at home so she couldn't ship dice.
How
the hell
dare?
is this?
Coincidence?
I can't believe.
I think not. I think this was a purposeful. But yes.
It's just me being lazy, guys. That's all.
Oh shucks, I'm locked in my house.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no. But do
My
go
ghosts
check
say
out
that too.
their mystery sets of dice. I think those are. I don't know how much longer those are going for. I don't know how much inventory they have. Don't give it away, Diana. Just let them think it's super.
They are
limited.
so cool, chat. Buy them. The mystery dice.
Today.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you
Here.
you streamed putting some together today, right? So
Ooh.
people can go back
That's fun.
and see the VOD of what actual dice they could.
And
be
if you watch her
receiving.
and donate, you can pick the. No, I'm not
Yeah, you can if you donate 1,000 daru. Very good.
$15 hairs.
$15.
Send me $10,000 and I'll go get the dice
I'll
physically.
drive over
I
there.
will drive there, pick them out, one by one, and bring them to you.
In any
Sleepover.
case, the point is, thanks to Level Up Dice. Go give them some support in the link below. It helps us, helps them, and we appreciate it. Also, opening up the giveaway now. We're going to be giving a few things tonight, starting with, at the end, we're going to be giving away a set of the mystery dice from Level Up Dice. So make sure you get in here, ! Win stuff to get in on that. And then we're also going to be giving away maybe like, a couple shirts and things like that. And you'll just have to stick around until the end and we'll see. Outside of that, please, I'm trying to push our social media a little bit, so please make sure you go follow us on Twitter, Instagram, join the Discord, that sort of thing, so you can stay up to date and know when we're going live, when we've got one-shots coming up, and all that sort of fun stuff. Again, just as always with Call of Cthulhu, Call of Cthulhu is a bit, it is horror. There are things, people may die. There are scary bits about, so this is just a quick warning to everybody who's new here. It's not all happy fun times like in D&D, which occasionally I should also say is not always happy fun times, but you know what I mean. It's horror.
D&D, right?
It's horror. Yeah,
Darker subject matter.
It's darker subject matter warning. Content warning.
Potential for triggering.
Potential nudity as well.
Like
yes.
literally, yeah.
It's
hey,
funny you say that.
Never.
So,
never know.
yeah. Anyways,
crossed.
that's pretty much it. Do any of you guys have announcements?
It's it's my 1 year subiversary to you.
Ooh,
Mason.
is it?
Oh,
It is
God.
12 months.
Wow.
Let's
Literally
go.
today.
Put a ring on it
That's
already,
pretty
dude. Damn.
Yeah.
My sub ended yesterday.
I know he did actually.
Ooh.
I said yes.
I do have an announcement. My internet is really unstable. It might freeze. It shouldn't kick me out, but
Oh.
universe is good.
He might have
Yes.
to. Oh my gosh, this is
Man,
Did that actually happen just now?
gonna be
no,
one of those.
holding still.
He's
There's
he's
no
he's just
way,
frozen.
Guys.
There's a there. Cthulhu calls upon us.
Okay. All right.
I have an announcement while he's getting back on.
Yeah, he's here. Go ahead, but go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Announceables.
I have an Instagram now, which if you don't know me, that's a really big deal.
It's a big step.
Yeah.
It's a big
And
step.
I don't have any Well, I have some followers. I mean,
Wow.
but no, I love you guys. I
It's
have
all
No,
very,
important.
I
Oh,
have
my-
very
Yeah, you know what I
few
love.
followers. It's my Instagram handle. No, I'm just kidding. I know that's
No,
No, what is it?
I'm actually following it right now. So
It's the whole period story.
Typed out, not the-
EY.
STREY. But
Hey,
it's
one of the
and
mods. Find it,
whole-
link it.
Yeah.
Whole, not like the hole in your butt, but whole like the whole world.
can't it be both?
yeah, can't it? Why not?
Yeah,
Por
can't we
qué no
let
los
the
dos?
And when she
Imagine
says
run
the
wild.
period, she doesn't mean
It
write
could
that
be
out. She
both.
means a dot.
That's
If you add a W to it, like, and you say I eat the whole ass, it could be like, you know.
It could
Wow,
be
okay.
both.
Just a little bit of that.
Thanks, Brandon.
thank you, Brandon. Appreciate
Good
it.
job, Brandon.
Brandon.
The dot whole
Hey,
dot
follow
story. The dot
Brandon,
whole
you
dot
rock.
story would be the short way to say that. STOREY. So
You
go give
got
her a follow.
You
And
did
also,
great, Brittany.
and also, if you want to follow all these beautiful people, which you should, you can find all of their Twitch information in the about section down below.
Can I do a small announcement?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I'm my whole entire channel, and that with an H, not a W. My whole entire channel
There you go.
is finally getting its new graphics overhaul, new logo, new emotes, new everything, and
That's been a
Freaking
long time coming,
it
everybody.
has been a very long time.
So
They are heckin' cute. Not that
Yeah.
I would know, but wink, wink. They're
I couldn't watch that shit before. I'm really glad you changed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's tolerable.
Now we're
right.
better.
The content's not going to be any better. As actually, it might be worse.
Yeah,
It'll
if
probably be
anything.
worse. Yeah.
Probably be worse.
It'll be shiny and new. That's all
Hey,
it
yeah.
Also, Story doesn't have a single post, so I'm actually unfollowing now.
Do one of these, get you a selfie,
Yeah,
and post,
post
it right now.
right now. In the go.
Also,
no pressure.
Live.
Yeah.
live. That's the best way.
Welcome to the hot seat.
And
Dude,
then,
we're doing
and
it live.
how about this? If do a
Wait,
sticker
how
giveaway
do
for
you
people
do
who
it?
follow her tonight.
Boom.
Could do that.
Pick a random person who follows that, and they could have a chance of winning a sticker. The stickers.
The whole
Well,
sticker.
I'm
A
not
whole
I'm not
I
opposed
don't
to
want
that.
that sticker.
And then Pyre, you're doing another birthday stream tomorrow?
It's not really it's like a
He's doing a
bonus
birthday stream tomorrow. Make
I'm
sure you
like
go
the queen. I got 2 birthdays. It's
and
fine.
go support Pyre tomorrow because he is here on his birthday, hanging out with us instead of doing all the other fun.
Instead of having fun with
debauchery-
his
debauchery
real
things.
friends.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why you pay me to show up, right?
right. Yeah. That's why your dice are on the way right now.
Whoa. Soon, TM.
Too soon, dude. Ow.
Ow.
I
Yeah.
don't know how to make a post.
Oh my god.
That's why we're doing it live. Yeah.
All right.
Oh
So
no! Why is it not easy? Okay.
we did get a couple follows during the rerun. Ancient Moose, thank you for that follow. Scattered Rollers, I think actually you followed right before the rerun, so that thank you, appreciate that. Dirt Butter, thank you for those bits. Sunny Day Jerry, thank you for that follow. All of you guys, thank you for the host. There's a lot of people to list, and I want to get into this. The real replay, thank you for those bits. We appreciate it. Pyre, thank you for the host. Dirt Butter again, thanks for them biddies. Ty, 1 year again.
Woo!
It's been a whole year.
It has been a
Thank
whole
you
year.
guys so much.
A whole year. A whole year.
And we're gonna go ahead and hop into this. So if there are no further questions, we're gonna roll the intro and then get started. So guys, here we go.
would
There we
desktop
go.
that background.
And we're back.
I also want Ty's screenshot. Of that.
All right, so last we left our investigators, they had all come together upon receiving a mysterious letter. A letter promising them not only money, but also potentially answers to the many mysteries, the many questions of the world. They met at a small diner where they began to become acquainted with one another before being ferried off in a rather military-like Hummer procession that took them to a base camp deep within the North Georgia mountains. At the end of the base camp, the road, there was a mansion. The mansion you are supposedly here to be investigating. As the various people who have been assigned to sort of help you seem to be dodging many questions and maybe not purposefully misdirecting, but seemingly doing their best to not reveal something. As you guys kind of made your way into each of your own rooms, set up at this little base camp here in these trailers, a few of you decided to go out for walks where you discovered a few different things. Tabitha had noticed that it appeared somebody was in the mansion, even though, as she was told by Riley, kind of the head man here, that nobody was supposed to be in the house after dark. Meanwhile, Brock and Brock and his grandmother, Barbara, had made their way outside, kind of searching the perimeter, just making sure things were okay. They stumbled across some footprints of somebody who had seemed to have come up. Now that's
They
my
cummed
southern.
up.
There's my southern side coming out. Somebody seems to have come up out of the woods to check out the trailers or something, and then he followed the footprints further into the woods, but they seem to have been washed away by the rainstorm and the bit of the stream. So it appears as though there are other people here. Also, as far as you all know, it seems like maybe campers or something based on what Michelle had seen on her morning jog, seeing a kind of fire off in the distance. But the next morning, you all sat yourselves down at the dining table inside of this large mansion, where it was explained to you through a pre-recorded VHS tape, that you were here for a specific purpose, mainly that being to retrieve this book that most of you have not heard of, called the Necronomicon. You are tasked primarily with retrieving this book, but also, if possible, solving what your employer believes to be the murder of his old friend, Carl Schmidt. As you guys kind of discussed among yourselves, it seems like retrieving a book may be not too difficult, but it seems like there's something else going on here. As James himself, your employer, seemed to indicate that there may be secrets, mysteries, things that shouldn't be delved into inside of this house that are better left untouched. He told you to be careful. He told you to burn the house down if you had to after you've acquired the necessary book, as everything else inside was of no consequence to him and potentially dangerous. You all began to investigate around a little bit, kind of taking note of some of the artwork and some of the very old antiques from kind of the older ages. As you made your way to the upstairs area where you were told a set of blueprints for the house would be located, you noticed that they were not there. As you kind of looked around a little further, Tabitha and Jane had kind of gone to inspect this room of antiques, finding this one kind of large limestone plate had fallen to the floor. As you inspected it, it was strange. A series of concentric circles on the front with kind of these small dots kind of on each one of them. As you looked on the back, you saw some rather disturbing Latin text. A lot of it had been worn away with time, but what you saw was enough to be a little creepy, at the very least. As you left the room, Barbara mentioned that she said that her dead husband was speaking with her, telling her that there's potentially another spirit in the house. And as this happened, a breeze kind of blew through, knocking the plate back onto the floor and kind of breaking it into a few pieces. As you guys made your way down to the end of the hall there, where the study is located, you noticed that, again, the blueprints were not there. However, the window had been unlatched. It was kind of flapping in the wind. As you looked down outside, you saw, kind of against one of these larger bushes, the plans were kind of just pinned against them, and below that, a pool of blood, a disturbingly large pool of blood. Whoever lost it probably either didn't make it far, or didn't make it anywhere else. But as you guys look outside now, you don't see a body immediately. And that is where we're going to pick up. So guys, what are you doing?
Do you guys see that?
What do you guys see over there?
Well, we
Looks like-
found the blueprints.
It's not all we found.
What do
What
you
is that?
mean?
Looks like
What
there's
is
blood.
that?
A lot of blood.
It looks like jam to me.
Well, but
Are
there,
you
there
sure
isn't
that's
a body.
blood?
We don't know where that came from.
Could be an animal.
Could be. I
Or
think
it
it
Oh
should be
yeah,
that.
someone out there was like, "Let me just butcher my deer on top of this bush."
Brock,
I mean-
you're a tracker. Are you sure that's blood?
I can't be like sure from this distance. I might have to go up and actually take a look at it.
Aren't you supposed to taste it or something?
That's usually what we do. Yeah, I take a little bit and I put a little on the tongue and a little under
Well,
the
do that.
eyes.
What? Do that.
All right, I'm
You
gonna
need
go
to
up.
carry me downstairs.
All right, Grandma, hop on. I'm gonna pick her up. I'm gonna scoop her up, actually, full scoop, and we're gonna walk down the stairs.
Thank you, grandson.
What are the rest of you doing as he exits the room? Any of you following, or are you
Are the
staying here?
rest of you
Following.
coming, or are you just gonna sit there and scallywag your way around?
I'm
Is there-
following. I'm very worried about Brock carrying Barbara down the stairs,
Okay.
but I'm following. I kind of have my hands out, like, in case he drops her.
Okay.
I'm gonna linger to just do like a quick scan of the room.
Yeah, is there
Yeah.
anything else around?
Sure. As you guys look around this room, the first things you notice is there is a set of double doors on the kind of right wall, the one that faces towards the front of the house. As you kind of take a peek inside, you notice that you are standing in what appears to be now a two-story library. As there's kind of shelves and shelves of books in this area, you see a spiral staircase making its way down. As far as looking inside of the study itself, roll me a spot hidden, whoever's staying in there.
I'm standing there too.
Okay.
That is a failure.
That's a success for me.
Okay.
And that is a failure for me.
Okay. And it was a regular success, Jane?
Yes.
Okay. As you kind of look around, you poke through the various bits of this desk. It looks as though this was kind of Carl's main study area. There is a kind of small bookcase behind where his desk is, the opposite wall of the kind of library doors there. As you kind of poke around looking through the desk, you do find what appears to be some sort of journal. It's kind of old and worn, as if it's been kind of written in for a very long period of time. As you open it up, it doesn't appear to be written in any form of language that you are familiar with. Roll me an occult check.
Okay.
Well, that's not English. This is clearly just a kid scribbling in a notebook. Let's go.
So that is a hard success.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as you look at it, it looks as though it's a somewhere between an maybe Arabian or an. It's a little difficult to say. It looks like maybe a primitive early form of Arabic, but a little difficult to tell as you look at it now. Meanwhile, outside, Brock, Barbara, and Michelle, you guys kind of make your way out the front door, passing around to the what is the right side of the house. You kind of glance up, seeing your fellows still kind of looking around in the room up there. As you come closer, this this kind of what looks to be blood-soaked earth, at least from up there. Go ahead. I will let you roll either. Let's see. What do you have any? Not listening. Do you have any other senses that you actually are proficient in that might be?
Electric repair.
No. Okay. Just roll a tracking check then.
Okay. Yeah, I don't.
And because that's going to be your first one.
Ooh,
I have first aid. I've seen a
that's
lot
a
of
hard
blood in my day.
success.
It's a hard success.
Hard success.
As you bend down to kind of look at this, what you now know to be blood, it does appear to have sunk into this kind of soft ground overnight. The rain. It seems as though, based on your knowledge, it would have to have happened last night, after the rainstorm, so it couldn't have been all washed away. As this kind of thick copper smell kind of rises up out of the earth, or this kind of irony, just blood smells. You don't even need to taste it to know that this is blood.
I'm going to taste it anyways.
You taste it, and there's a little bit of dirt mixed in with it. It's a little earthy. Definitely blood.
Yeah, this is definitely blood.
As you guys see at this point, as you get closer, the trail, now there's a bit of a trail of this blood that kind of makes its way into the woods. It looks as though something happened here to cause just a large amount of blood to be released. And then you see a trail. It's very faint now given the circumstances of last night, but with your hard success, you can see that it leads off into the woods. And it does appear that there are a few faint footprints left.
All right. So this is definitely blood. If I know anything, this is blood. I see some footprints here, and I think looks like something was dragged out into the forest.
Well, are we gonna follow it?
I'm gonna loosen my gun. I'm gonna unclip it.
Okay.
I think we have to. Somebody died here.
Well, they
Well,
might
they
not be
obviously
dead.
didn't die there.
I mean, this is a lot of blood. They're probably dead.
Well, we need to find out. Because if there's a dead body, we need to call the police.
Should we do that first?
Well, if you're certain it's blood, maybe we should call the police first.
Yeah, I think that might be.
I
the
haven't
best
seen
bet.
a landline anywhere. Does anyone have a car phone?
Well, I have a phone actually. Just got me digging here. Just one of those fancy slim ones, yes. Rock dial the 911 for Granny.
All right, Grant. Oh, okay. I'm gonna pull up the antenna and dial in 911 and hand the phone back.
Okay. You listen to a bit of crackling static. You begin to hear somebody. Hello, as they're trying to get through. But at least where you are now, you don't know if you need to be at a higher elevation. But it's not coming through super strong.
I can't hear. There's the static noise on the other end. Michelle, you try.
This new technology, man. It's not gonna go anywhere.
Brock, maybe you should climb a tree or
damn
something.
thing.
Brock, maybe you should climb a tree and try.
I don't know. You look more agile than me. Maybe you should be climbing trees.
I am pretty agile.
Well, go
Wouldn't
ahead
wanna
and
mess up
try.
Your manicure there, but you know.
Yeah, let me climb this tree here.
Okay. Sure. Roll. Okay. Which applicable skills do you have? Because there is technically climbing, if I recall.
I literally
There's
have
also athletics.
climb.
If I recall. Yep. Okay. Climb. Roll me a climb check then.
I have climb.
I do not have climb.
I handed her the
Okay.
mobile phone.
I'm gonna keep my eye just kind of trained on where the blood went off and around the forest.
I wish that you had just been like, I didn't hand it to her. She just climbed the tree.
I'll throw it up there.
Right.
I totally bust. I got a 77.
You watch as she goes to kind of reach for the closest branch. It seems kind of sturdy at first. However, as you go and put your full weight on it, it snaps. Maybe if you go a little deeper into the woods, you could find another tree to climb, but As of right now, you kind of you catch yourself, but you nearly lose your balance as you kind of stumble back, this branch now in hand.
Okay, well, these trees are not suitable for climbing, but maybe we should follow the trail of blood now, because then maybe we'll get signal wherever we find whatever's at the end.
All right.
All right, so you guys continue to follow the trail. Meanwhile, back upstairs, what are the three of you doing?
I'm trying to figure out
Uh,
how something gets into the house in the first place. It must have already been in here, right?
What do you mean?
Well, considering everybody on the grounds thought the house was empty, I don't think they managed to sneak in, do you?
Well, Riley said that people come in during the day to like clean and make all the food that we just ate and that kind of stuff. So maybe it happened during the day.
Well, no, because Brock already said that those footprints were dried mud. They weren't from this morning.
Plus, he said the blueprints were on the table, so when he had last seen them, they were still there.
Well, we don't know how organized he is.
That's very true.
I don't know. I'm just saying we did see that light last night, and that was pretty weird.
Now, as somebody from the lesser wealthy side of the tracks, I know that these types of manors have different hallways and doorways and access points for the servant class. So maybe
Oh.
there's a behind the wall, unknown,
Maybe.
less seen path.
Roll me a spot hidden check with a bonus die dodge.
How do I roll with the bonus die? I gotta just
So you add another of the one of the percentile ones.
Mhm.
So basically, you roll the double-digit one, and then you take the better of the two.
While he's doing that, just because we are taking a while,
Okay.
Jane would be walking over to the window to like look out and see if they've made it over there yet, just because she's really concerned.
Yeah, about this time you can see as he's kind of bent down, and you see as Michelle is attempting to climb a tree with a phone, but then it snaps. You watch as they, at this point, kind of
Oh,
seemingly
bless her.
leave the blueprints there and begin making their way into the woods.
Well, while Dodge is looking at the bookcases or whatever else
Okay.
is in the room, and she's looking out the window, I'm gonna kind of like sidestep over to her
Okay.
and say, "What does he know that's here that we wouldn't have already seen?" Is this like a criminal thing? Like,
What did you get on your roll, Dodge?
I got a hard success.
A hard success. So with this new kind of outlook in mind, as you're attempting to see what you can see, as you kind of go making your way along the walls, feeling along, you kind of see like, oh look, a candle. Like you pull on one of the candles on the wall, it just kind of pops off in your hand, like not that, and you kind of sit it down. As you go now inspecting the bookcase, you guys watch as he just kind of starts like pulling books off the shelf, just kind of like sitting them on the table, throwing them on the ground, until finally,
Hey there,
as you're saying that, you see as he does pull a book, it kind of, and you watch as it slides apart, revealing what appears to
Oh
be
no.
a panic room or surveillance room on the other
Oh.
side.
See, there's always more than meets the eye.
Okay, as interesting as that is, the other guys just grabbed the blueprints and they just headed off into the woods.
No, they left the blueprints.
Oh, they left. They
they're-
left the blueprints there and they just headed off into the woods.
What? Just going for a hike?
I don't know.
What are
Maybe-
they doing?
maybe they're
oh
leaving.
my god!
Well, Miss Michelle, she tried to climb a tree, and she kind of fell. It looked like she may have had a cellular device. I don't know.
Who makes their phone
must
calls in a
be-
tree?
I don't know.
Would I understand technology enough to know that they was probably trying to find reception? If she was
Uh,
holding a phone in her hand, like up in the climbing the tree.
Roll. What's your? Do you? You don't have electronics or anything, but you do have mechanical. I'll let you roll that in this instance. Sure.
Okay. That is an extreme or a critical success.
Critical or did you roll a 1?
Critical or no, sorry, the extreme.
Extreme
I
success,
mixed
okay.
the two in my head. That's my bad.
Yeah. Based on your knowledge, you would think that yes, they're trying to find a signal that kind of being out here amidst these mountains, especially back in this time period, there weren't as many kind of towers. So you need to get somewhere that you can kind of get, it's funnily enough, the signal over the mountains.
Well, it's simple, right? We're in the middle of nowhere. How are we going to expect a phone to work? I mean, this house was built before phones were even a thing. It probably wasn't made consciously thinking that there need to be communication with the city. So they're probably off to go maybe get reception. Did they go, and did you see what direction they headed in?
But why would they go into the woods?
Perhaps there was more blood.
That doesn't seem wise either.
Yeah, that's probably likely, but very stupid.
Miss Barbara's with them.
What are they thinking? Especially, they left the blueprints. The least they could do is grab them and bring them back and let us know, hey, we're going to go wandering into the woods, following some blood.
Well, I mean, to be fair, did you see who was in that group? I feel like they probably need our help. We should probably go before they get themselves
I
killed.
think so too. Let's go.
So
Wait, I'm going to close the door.
Okay.
Me too. On the way out of the room, just because now I know there are bookcases in there, can I just use my library knowledge? Is there any kind of order or semblance or like theme to what's on the shelves?
The shelf in this particular room or in the okay. Sure. What would you like to roll for that? Do you have an actual
Would my library use apply to that?
I would say it would. I'm just trying to think. Yeah.
Like
roll for
apply
that.
knowledge, knowing titles and
Yeah.
reference numbers and stuff like that?
Sure.
Okay. Then that is what I will roll.
Do that.
That is what's the highest one? An extreme success.
An extreme success.
Extreme.
Which is important, as Dodge had already removed many of the books from the shelf in his efforts to search the room. As you kind of glance around at these books, they seem to be a somewhat curated collection of books, specifically on alchemy and kind of like biological sciences.
Okay.
That seems to be the majority of them.
Okay. Anything stand out among them?
Nothing stands out as being super unique. They just all, as you kind of glance through them, they appear to be all in the we'll say human biology sort of field, and then the ones of alchemy also appear to be kind of curated for that same sort of like, you know, the like what materials you need to theoretically create a human body, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the other three of you heading into the woods.
Walter is telling me something about we forgot the blueprints. You two lovebirds go ahead and I'll go back to the house with them. I mean, you kids. Lovebirds.
Are you sure, Grandma? Are you going to be okay walking
Yeah,
back?
I'll be fine, Brock. Escort the young lady into the woods.
I think it probably is best if you stay here, Barbara.
Well, we
I don't
can't
want
just
you
leave
to-
the blueprints.
Right. Yes.
Sorry.
Come on, Brock.
Okay, so
Let's go into the
Alright.
woods.
you guys make it a little bit into the woods before Barbara turns around and makes her way back. The two of you, as you continue on a little further, following the tracks, roll me a spot hidden check, and I'll give you a bonus die because of the tracking success.
Ooh.
That's not good. I got 52
I got
With a bonus die?
with a bonus die.
Making up for
I-
last week.
Yeah, looks that
Which-
way.
how do you do the bonus die again?
So
Just
the larger one, the percentage, the double-digit one, you roll that one twice, and then you take whatever's the lower of the rolls.
okay.
So that way you can get closer to success.
Oh, well, I'm
I
not.
rolled a 50 and a 90.
So I do have a success.
Okay, a regular success?
Well, no, an even better than a regular success.
Hard success?
Yes.
And even better than...
A slightly better, but like not to make everybody jealous success.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
You know.
not
bragging
critical, not critical, but
Right, yeah.
you know.
As you guys kind of come to a small clearing, you look around,
Or not
noticing,
extreme. Thanks.
noticing that at some point the blood appears to have stopped in this area. As you guys kind of look around for a body, you stumble across Michelle as you kind of push your way through some of the underbrush back here, moving kind of small branches and things out of the way. You see this dark black cloak with a hood that's just kind of strewn on the ground, at this point soaked in blood. However, you do not see a body inside of it.
Okay, so the blood seems to stop here, but there's no body. And is this a cloak? Oh no.
Yeah, that looks like a cloak.
I would also note that the footprints have also stopped here. So as you kind of come up to the cloak, doesn't look like whoever this was walked away from here at the very least.
I'm just gonna grab a stick and like kind of move the cloak a little bit, see if I can see anything else.
Sure.
With it.
As you kind of poke around in there, kind of lifting it up and moving it around, you do see various little like undergarments and kind of almost like sackcloth style shirt. The one thing, however, that catches your eye is there is a small medallion kind of on a simple chain. A small flat disc.
I'm gonna pick it up with the stick.
Okay.
Does this mean anything to you? You ever seen anything like this?
No. Maybe on Halloween.
As the two of you look at it, what you see on the disc is a series of concentric circles with a small dot on each of the lines of the circles. I don't think either of you actually saw what was in the kind of antiques room, but just for description purposes, it looks very much like that. Okay, so you put it.
Brock, do you see any more tracks or something, or anything like that we can follow?
Let me take a quick look. Basically, do I see any other tracks or anything that we can follow?
Roll me a spot hidden. This needs to be you need to take a penalty die on this one though.
Okay. Oh, I rolled the same thing twice. It was 47, so it's still a fail no matter what I did, but
Okay.
I didn't fail harder.
No, as you look around, you don't see any obvious other tracks or any sort of blood or anything that's broken, no twigs. It doesn't look like anybody's around or came through here. As far as you can tell, it looks like somebody came here and then quite literally vanished.
It's like the same thing at the house. It just, the trail just stops. It just stops right here. I don't really understand.
Well, I don't know what else we can do at this point other than go back to the house. Maybe one of the girls will recognize what this disc is that we found.
Yeah. They do look like nerds. You're probably right.
They seem pretty smart, so.
All right.
All right, let's head back then.
So
Okay.
at about this time, the others of you who were heading back down to kind of grab the blueprints, you kind of meet with Barbara at about the same time. You all kind of arrive at this bush the blueprints are currently entangled in.
Well, look who had brains.
Oh, Miss Barbara, are you okay? You're
She's fine, look at her.
muted.
You're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She was talking to Walter.
Talking to myself, don't mind the granny. I got the blueprints, so I'm gonna keep them in my purse for safekeeping.
Oh,
Get them later.
alright. Well, we just found this little like panicky room area. So I wonder if that's on the blueprints or not.
That's a good point, actually. I didn't think about that. Yeah, behind one of the bookcases in the study, or library. What was it?
Wait, where are
It
the
was a
other two?
study.
Study.
Also, that's blood. That's definitely blood, isn't it? Is that blood?
Brock said it was blood, and then the two of them went off in the woods.
Oh God.
What?
In my experience, heading off into the woods
I don't think that this
never
is the right
ends up
time for
well.
that kind of coupling. It doesn't seem appropriate. We're in the middle of something.
Well, we tried to get cellular reception, but my damn phone won't work.
With the blood here, a romantic experience
Wait,
is
why
the
were you
best
trying
we
to get
could
your
hope
phone
for.
to work?
Well, we were gonna call 911, of course, but
That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, don't you think they tried to get the authorities to help with this situation? That's why we're here. Sorry, I'm
are
being a
you
little
the
snippy
authorities,
this morning.
young man?
I like to consider myself an authoritative individual. Yes.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't get the impression that anyone was bleeding when I was brought here. I was brought here to do research. Why would I know anything about blood?
I mean,
Sometimes-
didn't he say that his friend, he thought he was dead?
I mean, disappeared and dead are two different things.
Well,
People
someone
disappear all
said
the
they
time.
were murdered.
Look, we gotta focus on facts. We don't know anything yet. All we know is 2 of us are alone in the woods following a trail of blood. All right? There's a very limited number of options of what we have to do. We have the blueprints. We need to save our friends, make sure they don't die, and then we get back to the house. Seems logical.
Why is anyone dying?
Okay, we need to get those other 2, and we all need to get back inside.
About the time this
Well, they went
conversation is
that
wrapping
way.
up, you see the 2 of them kind of reappear out of the woods.
What the hell's going on here?
I should ask
What
you
the
the
hell
same
is going
thing.
on over there?
Well, we were following the trail of blood. Somebody could
This
be
isn't
hurt
the
or
time
dead.
to
I'm sorry,
copulate. I
what?
don't know why you would run away from the group like that. Especially
sorry,
if your
what?
grandmother here.
Copulate? What the hell is copulate?
She thinks that you guys were doing the dirty.
Oh, I'm gonna
A
like.
two-person tango. You know?
I'm gonna
Really?
check. I'm gonna check her out now as like a little sideways glance, like, oh,
Are you finally gonna give me grandchildren?
Oh, please. You wish. Okay. Let's show them the
Alright.
disc, please.
oh yeah,
Show
I
them.
found this. I'm gonna pull it out and just with my hand. It's fine now.
Yeah, he produces what appears to be a much more modern, this kind of metal, maybe hematite, some sort of disc that appears to just have a very familiar engraving on it. As you look at it, it appears to match the limestone disc that you guys saw inside of the antiques room.
That's that thing.
That is
The
the
thing
same.
from
Yeah,
upstairs?
I'm
That's
showing
the
you the
same
thing.
one. That's the same disc as the one we saw upstairs, the one that kept falling off the shelf.
It's kind of a weird thing to put around your neck. I don't really.
Did we
Is it like
It's
a
kind of
cult?
weird to wander around with something that has darkness and hunger and dominion and master and creepy words on it.
I don't know, man. People out in
don't
the
like it.
wilderness, they do weird things.
Hey, we
There's-
found a secret
Granny,
ring, so
all
y'all,
right,
we should
Granny
go look at it
is
and
getting
check over
cold.
the blueprint.
Barbara,
Granny
let me
is
assist
getting
you into
cold.
the
We're
house.
Miss
going
Barbara, I'm so
inside right
sorry.
now.
I'm gonna offer my arm to Barbara and just escort her into the house.
Oh, thank you, young man. See, Brock, you could take a lesson from his manners.
Yep, you're right, Grandma. I'm gonna kind of scratch my head and just look back into the forest as we're walking through the house.
Okay.
See if I see anything.
Yeah, roll me spot hidden.
My best roll. Hey! Hey! That's a regular success. 24.
As you kind of glance back into the woods, you think for just a moment, you see this kind of shadow as it seems to be almost moving through the shade. However, you kind of blink. It's gone. Okay. So you guys continue on inside. Where are you going?
On the way in, I'm just gonna, not super duper loud, just directly to Barbara. I have a good feeling about your instincts, Miss Barbara. I think you should, I don't know, I just trust you.
Well, you haven't lived a very long life.
That's fair.
Would I have heard any of that conversation?
Well, he didn't. He said he wasn't being super quiet. I would say, what is your listen skill? Do you have one? What is your
I
passive?
don't know. Oh, it's just 25.
I mean, you can see him talking to your granny. Are you?
I was just gonna tell him like, yeah, I don't know if you should trust her. Her instincts are Not what they probably were when she was younger.
Well, you're the spawn, aren't you?
Yep, you're right, Grandma.
A high five. Solid. That was a
Yep.
solid one.
See, I like you, young man. You have a good head on your shoulders.
Yeah, through trial and error.
Well, why don't you take a good look at this blueprint I have here? Hang on one second. Here you go.
Ah,
Yeah, I mean it's gonna take you. It's gonna be kind of. It's one of those where it's big enough that you're gonna have to kind of. You'd have to hold it like this. You think it may be a little easier to perhaps sit down with it somewhere rather than try and read it while walking.
let's get this back to the study. We could spread it out and start to take stock of what's where and.
Is that upstairs or downstairs?
That is upstairs. Perhaps we keep it on the first floor for ease of access.
Thank you.
I could go for some second breakfast. Let's go to the kitchen.
You guys at this point, whoever's going, you make your way into the kitchen, kind of set the blueprints out on the table. The little bit of food has mostly kept its warmth as it was kind of covered in nice metal trays. But yeah, you guys set the blueprints out. You begin looking at them. Who's inspecting them?
I'm gonna take a look too.
as well.
Okay.
For sure.
I will say, are you guys looking for anything specific first?
I'm looking to see if that hidden panic room is on there.
Okay. Yeah, you can. I would say that's not too difficult. You can tell from looking, just kind of taking a glance at it. That room does not appear to be on there. No.
Oh,
I'd like to take a look at the kitchen to see all the ins and outs, walls,
Okay.
just to see if it's like a defensible position or not.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a second. So, Dodge, are you looking
Yeah.
for anything particular on the blueprints?
Yeah, I'm looking for anything that doesn't strike me as normal for a house, like anything that isn't just your typical living room, kitchen. Anything along those
Roll.
lines.
I would say I would let the two of you. Is anybody else taking a look at it? Just as you're all, it's kind of big. I would let you. That's what she said. I would let you all. I would let anybody else who wishes to look at it for anything in particular do so. But for the two of you, I would say Dodge, roll another mechanical check just in this one, as you're kind of trying to follow the various pipes and kind of ductwork and things.
Oh, good tonight. That's an extreme success.
Okay, very good. As you follow the various lines for the power lines, the plumbing, the ductwork, as you're trying to kind of see, as you kind of like flip through these couple pages of kind of looking and taking a closer look, you notice that it does appear that there are a few sources, perhaps multiple generators, running this place. You don't know if it's multiple redundancy or what, but one of the first things you notice, having been interested in the car out in the shed, you notice that it's perhaps a little different than what you thought it was. It seems as though that shed was a relatively new addition, and that it is not being powered by the house, but rather it has power running from it into the house somewhere. Additionally, you kind of see these as you kind of look through a couple different just iterations of kind of flipping through these, kind of taking a closer look. It seems like, as you kind of now know the surveillance room is there, it does seem like most of the rooms have been wired with surveillance somewhere. And as you kind of now see you can tell based on kind of the way the lines are running that panic room is indeed there, even though the room itself is not shown on the blueprints, which leads you to believe there could be other rooms. As you kind of now follow these various lines and things, it does weirdly seem like quite a few of the lines go into the basement, somewhere into the cellar, and they seem to
the power.
Yeah,
the
a lot of
power grid
not
leads
not just the power, but also strangely some other ductwork. In fact, the units that you saw outside, while it's a bit of a long run, they do appear to also be kind of secondary or tertiary units for temperature control, electricity, those sorts of things.
HVAC.
Yeah, it seems to be backup units for something else.
I'm going to drop my wrench into the table.
Okay.
Like just accidentally just let it fall and let it accidentally kick it under the table. Could you guys help me grab this real quick? I just need to. And then I just crawl under the table and like kind of motion to come under the table.
I'm gonna go
I'm
down.
just gonna
and-
stare at him.
Okay, so
I will not crawl under a table.
I don't know why you need help with a wrench. I didn't think you were that soft.
I'm just saying, there's surveillance in most of this house. There's a good chance we're being watched. Stupid wrench. You'd think something heavier would be easier to find.
Out of curiosity, I just kind of duck down and I'm like, "What are you guys making out? What are you doing?"
He wishes he could land me. No, what I'm saying is there's surveillance in most of this house, so there's a good chance we're being watched. All right?
What do you mean surveillance?
Well,
As
I
in this
told
place
you there
is
were
rigged.
spirits here.
But also electronically, there's cameras.
You know we're
There's-
still only like 5 feet away. We can still hear you, right?
If there's cameras, do you think there's probably, maybe microphones picking up sound as well? So they probably heard all of this.
So,
That's because I'm whispering. You guys are talking real loud.
so
I'm gonna come up from under the table. Look,
watching us.
You
I'm
forgot
just gonna
your
wave.
wrench.
If
We
they
know you're
had
watching us.
surveillance,
Forgot
You
your
know-
wrench.
I'm gonna
You
pick up
want-
the wrench. Just hand it to him.
Thank you. It's so considerate.
why
anyways.
don't we just go ask about it and then we can watch the video of whoever came in the study upstairs and stole the blueprints.
That's
a bad
much.
idea.
That's that instinct I was talking about. What I want to say
So-
too is if you look closely at this grid here, this power and HVAC, the way it's laid out, right? Two things I noticed. One, there's a lot of this place is pulling a lot of power, a lot of resources. But the funny thing is it's originating in the carriage house outside, which is newly built. The power's running to the basement. So there's something
The
that's requiring a lot of
basement?
power down there.
Maybe that's where their surveillance system is.
I would
Perhaps.
just-
But would I know mechanically that that's an excessive amount of power for just what would be a security room?
So based on what you guys have seen so far, because you guys didn't really take a look inside the panic room, you did see that potentially a lot of the monitoring could be done from that room. As far as the power going to the basement, it does seem very unusual, even for a rich person to have 3 or 4 backup systems. You don't necessarily see where they're all coming from on the map. You do see that it looks like there is some other power source kind of coming from behind where the house is, but as far as like having that many backups, maybe he just really didn't ever want to be without power. It's hard to say. Unusual though.
I'm getting the feeling that at the very least this place is supposed to sustain itself for an extended period of time.
Do I see anything else weird on the blueprints?
Maybe. What in what way are you looking at it, I guess?
Well, I mean, I noticed that those corridor or like the panic room that we
Mhm.
found isn't on there, so there's potentially more stuff that's not on the map.
Sure.
I guess potentially anything that just doesn't look right.
Which skill would you like to use to look for this?
I don't know what would be best.
I would say, having watched Dodge look over it, you think he may have a better grasp on kind of the ins and outs of them than you. As you kind of look a little closer, you think there could be other hidden rooms on here. Potentially one in the basement, as he mentioned, as you do now kind of looking at it, see the kind of different power lines and other things kind of running into the cellar there. But yeah, outside of that, I don't think without a specifically high roll and skill, I don't know if you're gonna glean
Yeah.
much more from it.
Okay.
So, what are you guys doing?
Are we gonna go get Riley or whatever his name is?
Yeah, I think we should try and get some explanation for the things we've already discovered.
You guys said there was a panic room upstairs?
Oh yeah, let's go show him real quick.
Yeah, I think we should all be aware that this exists. Come on.
Well, why don't the two of you go on together and This one and I will go talk to Riley.
I'm okay with that.
That works
Okay.
for me. Be safe, okay?
Okay,
Don't
so
worry about me, Brock. I'll be fine.
I was talking to her. You're a pistol. We all know it.
Yeah, damn straight.
okay, so Tabitha, where are you going?
I actually want to sort of stay on the ground floor.
Okay.
Because forgive me, I do not remember an entrance to any kind of cellar being discussed at all thus far.
No, just there's one on the blueprints, but no, none of you have gone to a lower level so far.
Could I try and just find that entrance while they're wandering around various parts of the grounds in the house?
Sure. As you kind of at this point you take a look at the blueprints, it does appear to be on the like western side of the house.
Okay.
You can make your way over there. So we have Jane, Brock, and Michelle going upstairs. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Think
Okay.
so, yeah.
All right.
Wait,
so
say that again? Sorry.
Jane, Brock, and Michelle are going upstairs, and then I believe Dodge and Barbara were going to speak to Riley.
Yeah.
Okay. So starting with the three of you going upstairs, you kind of make your way up the stairs. Now, what you see, Brock, is this what appears to be have been a like in the movies a false kind of backed bookshelf, as it kind of seems to have slid apart mechanically.
Huh.
And inside, you guys see various different screens. You see all sorts of tape decks, a few different computers. It appears to be very kitted out. You also do see what appears to be a telephone.
Whoa.
What do you think a room like this
Um,
runs you?
I don't know. This is a lot of stuff.
Oh, literally all of my Zoom froze.
Hey, it's not me this time.
I know it's not you this time. It's just a Zoom service sort of thing.
I saw
like
you
the
freeze and I
wink
was
that it
Yeah.
froze in.
right.
It was like a half wink for you, Mason, so it was kind of like,
It's okay. Everything's getting hit hard right now. We'll just keep going. So, as you guys kind of start poking around in this room, it does look, just taking a look at the screens, there does appear to be some sort of surveillance monitoring system here.
Can I like pick up the phone and just like hang it up a couple times, see if it has a ringtone?
As you pick it up, you immediately hear a dial tone. Are you gonna listen?
Yeah, I'm gonna listen in. The phone is ringing. I didn't dial anything. It just went.
At this point, it rings twice, and somebody picks up. Hello?
Hello, who is this?
Who is this?
That's not very kind of you. Manners say, you know.
How
I
did
asked you
how
first.
did you get this number?
Well, that's the thing. I didn't get a number. It just kind of dialed through. Who am I talking to?
You can call me James. What is your name?
James Brock. Nice to meet you. So I'm in a bit of a
Wait,
predicament.
wait.
Wait, James?
Brock
Is it Dr. James?
Brock
Are you on the phone
Baldo.
with James?
Yes, yeah. I'm talking to James. Yeah, it's James. Yeah, this is Brock Baldo. We found this little room here. Kind of dialed straight to you.
Yes, this number has not been used in some time.
Some kind of panic line? Is that what this is?
Yes. Carl said he had it disconnected a long time ago, that he had no more use for it.
Well, apparently he lied, because it's very much active, Mr. James.
Have you seen any sign of him? Is he there?
No, we haven't found anything yet. We're still kind of looking around, but something a little bit off about this place.
Oh, ask him if there's any more hidden rooms.
So, have you ever been to this estate? Have you walked these grounds, sir?
Sadly, I have not. Carl and I had a bit of a falling out a few years back.
Was he a paranoid man by any chance?
I think we all are in this line of work. Yes.
And what line of work would that be, sir?
Is there anyone else there?
I don't think he likes me very much. Here, I'm gonna hand the phone over to
What do
you.
you mean?
I'm gonna hand the phone over. He doesn't want to talk to me.
Hello?
Hello. Is this
Hi there. This is Jane.
Jane? Very good. He said things were strange. Can you explain to me what's going on?
Well, you see, the thing is, Riley told us that there were some blueprints upstairs, so we went to go get them so we could, check out stuff, because that's what we were kind of told to do. So we, went to get them, and they weren't there, and we looked out the window, and there was some blood. So we went to check that out, and then we found this little, some kind of stone circle disc thing, and it kind of resembles this other one that's
Wait,
in the,
you
in the
just found it.
library.
You found it where?
I don't know. I didn't find it. Brock, where'd you find that circle disc?
It was out on some kind of cloak. It was all covered in blood.
Cloak. A
Yeah, it
bloody
was-
cloak? Y'all didn't mention that.
Well,
there
it
a
was
body?
Yeah. No, we didn't find the body. We just
No
found
body.
the bloody cloak in the woods. Tell him
And-
that.
Yeah,
Just the
somebody's
there
somebody's
was a-
under ruse.
They followed the blood and found a bloody cloak and no body and the little relic thing.
Can you describe this cloak to me? It didn't belong to any of you.
Y'all,
No.
what the cloak look like? Did y'all look at it?
No, yes, we did. It looked like something you'd wear on Halloween.
It's like all black
It was like
It was
a
like a-
Halloween cloak.
linen shirt we found
Black.
in there.
Like,
yeah,
like
once
black.
the-
It was black.
Black with a hood.
Oh, like a cult cloak.
Sure, yeah.
I have a call to make. Just be wary of any strangers that may come.
Wait, but don't you have random people coming here all the time? There's lots of people we don't know.
No, there should be nobody else in the house other than Riley and the couple of assistants he has with him.
Oh, okay. Huh.
I have a call to make. I shall try and return the call on this line as soon as possible.
You ask him what the number is just so we have it.
Y'all have any questions? He's trying to get off the phone. Can we get the number?
Oh, we need more information.
Michelle said we need more information. Here, you talk to Michelle, hun.
Hello?
Hello, Michelle. I
James.
I have an emergency call I need to make just to make sure that some things have not been.
Listen, I feel like nobody's told us the truth since we've gotten here. Why are
I have told you as much of the truth as I can possibly know without having been there myself. I
and
don't.
now there's blood. There's
Yes.
blood. There's no body.
The book. Did you find the book?
No, we haven't found a book.
We'll keep searching. It wasn't on the body, correct?
No, there was no book. Can you give us a clue or something where this might be?
I wish that I could. I've been faxed the blueprints, but I don't think he would have necessarily hid it anywhere. He was the only one there as far as I know, but then again, he hasn't told me anything about his plans or his ongoings. I suspected he may have been delving into things once again, dark things. But I have not heard from him in a couple of months.
It sounded like you knew what we were talking about when we talked about the discs.
No,
What can you tell us about those?
There was a cult some time ago. Back when Carl and I were on opposite sides of the war. However, seeing what these folks were up to, we decided to put aside those differences and stop what they were doing. If they came back for him, I assume they know that he has a Necronomicon in his possession, and well, that is the artifact that we took from them back then. We thought that that was the end of it, that we had killed them all.
What does this book do? Why is it so important that we destroy it?
I know you will not like this answer, but the less you know about it, probably the better. Many dark things have come from this text. He said he had destroyed it long ago, and until recently I believe that to be the case. In my research, though, I've discovered that it may not be prudent to destroy such a book. Sometimes there are things inside.
It sounds like we're in danger being here.
I certainly hope not. I am going to make a call and go ahead and send backup as should be there within the next day or two at the latest.
A day or two?
Well, you are out in the middle of nowhere, and hopefully within the next day, but it depends on whether I can convince my contacts whether or not army assistance is necessary. And to be clear, I don't think that it is, but just in case. You understand old Nazi cults are not exactly on our government's top list of things to respond to.
Listen, all I know is you need to get someone out here as quickly as you can. Because this is crazy.
Well, yes, that is the plan. We have, of course, preliminary investigations have been done by the police. They found nothing. But, as they also did not uncover the book, and neither did any of my men in their preliminary search, I sent in all of you. And as you have found this line, you have seemingly done something that they've been unable to do thus far. So my suggestion would be just be careful, but keep digging. You're doing well. Anyways, I shall be calling back soon. Just, if this phone rings, make sure it's answered.
Okay. We'll do our best.
Yes, be safe. And you hear it click on the other end.
Well, hey,
Okay. He
What-
said that he's sending people to help us, but it's going to be a day or two. And there's something about a Nazi cult. And
what?
yeah. So all of this is related to some kind of war between cults, and everybody wants the book or something, and we need to find the book and destroy the book.
I mean, if the book actually were real, yeah, of course it would need to be destroyed, but that's silly.
And it's a book. Who cares?
It's just a book.
just words on paper.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know that we should be here. Brock, maybe you should at least send Barbara home, because I don't know what purpose she serves here, and it seems like she would be in more danger than any of us.
Ma'am, I'll tell you right now, if you can get her to go home, I would be eternally grateful. I've been able to get her to do anything in my life.
Well, maybe we can all together convince her. In the meantime, he said that he would call back, and he said we need to answer the phone when he calls. So someone needs to stay in this room. Or at least within hearing distance of the phone.
Wait, but we're not supposed to be in here at night.
Well,
You
I
wouldn't
don't...
call
I
it
don't
night,
know.
right?
I mean, I'm not
You
convinced
could,
that the
I
gas
don't-
leak is just going to start each night.
Well, Riley said that wasn't entirely true. I don't know what's going on here at night,
I mean,
but
And what's the big deal? It's just a house.
yeah, I don't.
I agree.
Mm.
Maybe we should all just stay here in the room together.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd work. These things were built to keep people safe at night or when shit hits the fan.
Okay, so cutting over to Tabitha, You make your way over towards the western side of the house. You do find a kind of short stairwell. You can open a door. It seems to go down about maybe a little less than a full story. As you make your way down, kind of, are you going down, or are you just opening the door?
I want to descend the staircase.
Okay.
Maybe 3 or 4 steps down, and stop, and see if I can hear anything.
So, go ahead and roll me a listen check.
Oh, that's not going to be good.
And at the moment, it is you do see a switch on the stairwell as well for lights, you assume. But it is pitch black down there right now.
Remind me.
Yes.
Do we do this the same for stuff we aren't proficient with?
Yes. So if you're rolling a listen check, you I think the default is 20% for listen. You just need to roll below 20, or 20 or below.
I did not. Not even close. That's 94, friend.
Hey!
That is a big old failure.
That is definitely a failure. As you kind of listen down the stairs, you don't hear anything out of the ordinary. It's pretty dead silent down there.
Then I'm going to keep going down the stairs.
Okay. Are you going to flip the aforementioned light switch?
Sure, assuming I can see it.
It's at the top of the stairs, so yeah.
Yes.
All right,
Light is good.
As you flick it, you see a few lights kind of flicker on, kind of the fluorescence kind of as they kind of spring to life down there. It seems like a fairly nice cellar, all things considered. You look around, you do see various different kind of racks of different wines of different vintages, as well as on one of the far walls, you see a couple very large, like as in much larger than you, kegs.
Like kegs that look familiar to me, or kegs that look super old?
They
Have I found Cortez's gold? Like, what is this?
Do you have anthropology or praise or?
I have anthropology.
Roll anthropology.
Okay. 98. That's another failure. If we were doing anything else, man, I'd be.
I would say I'm going to give you a bonus die in this instance.
Because you feel bad for me?
Partially, but also because you guys already know there may be something going on down here.
So that's the same result.
Okay. No, they look old, as far as you can tell. But other than that, you take a quick glance around. You don't see anything out of the ordinary.
No obvious source of where all this electricity is being used.
Not immediately. Roll spot hidden.
Hey, that's a 9. That's
There you
good.
go.
That's
Nice.
pretty good. Is that what sort of success?
That's a
is that?
hard success, I believe.
It's a hard success. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't immediately tell anything about the kegs themselves, but as you kind of go up and start looking at the different wines, you kind of pull out the different vintages. You kind of like take a look. They do appear to contain wine. As you kind of go and start kind of feeling around these kegs, you notice that one of them, whereas the rest are kind of pushed back against the wall, there's still some sort of gap back there. You notice one of them almost looks like it's fused to the back of the wall, as if it was structurally almost part of the wall.
Could I, not being much of a drinker, but knowing the basic functions of a keg, could I go around to the front of that one and turn the tap like I would a doorknob?
You do so, and it does turn. You kind of hear just a kind of as you feel it kind of loosen, and this enormous, what you now see to be door, kind of slowly begins to swing open.
And having seen that, the door is swinging open. I don't want to see what's on the other side. I'm probably scared at this point, and I'm just gonna bolt back upstairs.
Okay. All right. Very good. Meanwhile, Barbara and Dodge, as the two of you, make your way back outside towards the base camp. You kind of walking your way along the crunchy gravel. You do see a few of the people kind of sitting outside at this point. They're sitting in something akin to almost lawn chairs, kind of sitting down playing cards. You notice Riley is noticeably absent from this group of 3 people.
And we've not met these 3 people before?
They were the drivers. You didn't really meet them much. They drove you guys here. You get the sense that they're here to drive you back, but not much else.
Hey, fellow drivers. We have some questions from Mr. Riley. Do you know where he might be?
Yeah, he came back in a bit of a tiff. He went inside his trailer there. Seemed a little upset. Is everything okay?
Well, relatively speaking, things are not ideal. When was the last time you saw Riley come out of his trailer?
Well, I mean, this morning when he went to make breakfast at the house, and then he came back not long after and locked himself in there.
Mr. James should have found somebody with a stronger constitution. Thank you, gentlemen. Miss Barbara, perhaps we just go have a meeting with Riley in his trailer.
All right, you puff up your chest and I'll wave my finger. We'll get some answers out of this man.
You understand what I'm getting at. All right. So we're going to head over to the trailer.
Okay. You go up to the trailer door. It's currently locked.
A firm knock. Actually, with the wrench, the butt of my wrench.
Okay. You knock. There's no response.
Riley, look, we understand that things are a little touchy over at the house, but we just need to talk to you here, right here. No danger. Just if you could clear up some things for us.
You hear a bit of a shuffling from inside. The two of you roll me a listen check.
Oh my god. Okay. 4 rolls in a row. I got 00 with this African or Indian. What is it?
Indian agate.
Indian agate.
Level up dice.net.
zeros in a row.
Please just send me a whole set of those. Thank you.
They're amazing. I love them.
That's that's my 3rd extreme success.
No.
Fourth extreme
You rolled
success
all
in a row.
zeros?
003.
003. Okay.
I
That's my
failed.
4th
I need to
extreme
turn up
success.
my hearing aid.
So that's an extreme success. You hear him kind of a little bit of beleaguered breathing on the other side of the door. What did you get, Barbara? Sorry.
I got a 66.
Okay, so probably not a
That's
success.
a fail.
Almost your age.
Yeah. You do hear
I
he's breathing a little heavily, as if he'd just gone on a run or something. You hear this kind of shuffling up to the door. Yeah, what do you want? He doesn't open it. He's just talking to you through the door.
Can I hear anything in his voice other than I'm assuming fear, like anything else out of the ordinary? Like if he's as labored breathing.
It's difficult to say without seeing his face. It does sound fearful, but outside of that, it's a little difficult to decipher any emotion. But he does appear to be having. You don't know if he's allergic to something. You don't know if he's just completely freaked out. It's good.
Now,
hard to tell.
Riley, I know you're not having an easy time, but you're not gonna let this sweet old lady stand out here in the nature, are you?
It's a nice day. Oh, I think she'll be fine.
I believe Miss Barbara here would like to rest her feet. Could we just come in for a moment?
I need some alone time. Thank you.
And we need answers.
Young man, you open this door this instant, right now.
Go ahead. I know you want to roll intimidate really bad.
Can I?
Yes, go ahead.
Yay. Probably gonna fail though. I failed. Just by
Oh no.
9.
The door can't see the finger. That's the problem.
He can't see the finger. He can't see the wagging.
True.
Look, I appreciate that you're all here, and I'm sorry that I've been less helpful than you would like. And I promise you, there's only so many things that I know myself. So, what can I do for you?
Riley, are you a fan of doors? Because I'm about to take this one off. So if you'd like to keep your door on your trailer, then I suggest you just open up and answer some questions for us. I believe that's pretty reasonable. Don't you think, Barbara?
I think that is quite reasonable, yes.
All right, go ahead and roll me an intimidate. This will be with a penalty die, though, as he is very freaked out, and you're not exactly making him feel better.
Yeah, that's... Wow, almost identical. Fail. Just a normal fail.
Okay. I would strongly suggest you don't force your way in here.
Can you answer some questions through the door?
That's what I'm trying to do, and then you will leave me alone, I assume.
Oh my god. You are in the wrong line of work, my friend.
I'm beginning to realize that, yes.
Look, we got ourselves the blueprints. There was a hiccup. But upon inspection, I realized that the power is being routed in a unique formation. We understand that there's surveillance in most of the house, and we also understand that there's being power generated somewhere underneath the carriage house and running to the basement. Now, 1, do you have access to the security footage? And 2, what do you understand about the layout of this house's power grid?
I didn't know there was any security footage to be looked at. That's the truth. As far as the power, I just assumed that I only knew there was the one backup generator, and it was behind the house.
And there's more than one unit outside the house, right? Like anybody who would just glance around would notice that there's more than one generator.
What you noticed, you couldn't actually, from looking at the blueprints, the generator that was in the carriage house, it's either inside or
underground.
Or underground, yes.
Okay. Well, Riley, you understand the predicament we're in then, because there's a lot of things that we don't have the answers to, and if we're gonna start to solve this this little mystery about this book, then we need to get to the bottom of it. So if there's anything you do know, it's in your best interest to tell us now.
All I know is when we came, there were supposed to be people watching the house, and they were not here. All I know is that when we stayed in the house, a few people started acting crazy, and they left. As far as I know, and I haven't seen them
Crazy
since.
how?
Roll me. Do you have persuasion?
Do I? Let me find
There isn't really persuasion.
there persuasion?
There's intimidate and is the other one?
Psychology?
Yes, psychology. That would work.
Yes, I do have psychology.
No, there is persuade. There is. It's
Oh, there
10.
is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. There is persuade.
Okay. Yeah. Then roll.
But I
me-
do have psychology with that.
I would let you roll it in this instance. Yes, to see if
Okay.
you can kind of navigate. He's clearly at this point, you can tell, suffering from some kind of trauma.
That's a fail.
I'll be honest. I don't really wish to relive that night.
But it was bad. Dangerously bad.
Yes, it was people doing things I only thought you'd see in the horror movies. Knives and seemingly losing themselves, and
Spare yourself the details. I understand that this is difficult for you, so I'm going to respect that. So it would stand to reason that us spending time in the house puts us in immediate danger, right?
I have no idea. I don't know how any of these things work. All I know is that they mentioned, the two of them mentioned feeling strange when they entered, and then things went downhill.
And you feeling strange when you crossed the threshold of the house?
I did not. No.
Ah, so it's selective. Okay.
I
This-
don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Okay,
I-
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything there. I don't know if they had some predisposition. I have done a lot of thinking, and I just don't know.
Listen, Riley, deep breaths, my friend. All right?
I don't think he knows anything.
I'm starting to realize this trend. Is there anything you'd like to ask him? I believe this guy is tapped in terms of information.
Are you feeling okay in there?
Been better, but I'm fine.
Well, all right. You let Granny know if anything comes up and you need some healing, okay?
Yes, I just would like some alone time to sleep and just...
Well, yes, my grandson Brock likes alone time very well. Yes, I understand.
Okay.
Don't hesitate to reach out to us if things start to get a little dicey in that trailer, all right?
I'll do so.
We are here to help,
Here.
despite what it may seem.
He at this point kind of cracks the door. He does hand out to you guys a couple of these kind of longer range radio wave walkie-talkies. I've got one here, and here's two if you need them for anything.
Here we go. This is immensely helpful, Riley. This relationship, it's blossoming in the way that I find
He closes the door back.
pleasing. Oh, and he's gone. There he goes, back into his shell. I guess I don't know what I expected. Well, Barbara, it looks like we still got some questions to answer.
Well, should we go back to the house? What are these things? Are these like cellular phones or?
You could say that. They work mainly in close proximity, but they don't rely on that long distance radio wave cell tower nonsense that I've been reading about. This is more just good old classic walkie-talkie communication.
A
Old school.
walker-talker?
Exactly. Yes. Analog, baby.
All right.
And a what?
So as this conversation is happening, you guys begin making your way up back towards the house. Tabitha, leaving the basement, the cellar, kind of comes running back upstairs. The other three of you, currently inside of the panic / surveillance room. What are you guys doing?
I will sprint in that direction.
Okay.
Since I know that people were headed up there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say you arrive in just a moment. So the three of you, as you've been poking around in this room, anything you're doing?
Does it look
What-
like there's a way to look back at the tapes?
You think so, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Okay,
I was
let-
gonna say.
yeah, we should look at the surveillance and see if we can see who was in here the other night.
Yeah, see if you can find that.
It's a
I'll
good
give you a hand.
idea.
Okay. Yeah, so at this point, you guys kind of begin digging through, attempting to kind of review the footage. And we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back. So don't go anywhere, guys. As a reminder, ! Win stuff. We're doing a couple giveaways at the end of the stream. So if you like winning things like level up dice and or some sweet shirts and things from our store, make sure you hang out and ! Win stuff, guys. We'll be right back. And we're unmuted.
About 7-Up, man, myself.
Oh, what's it like being a
All right.
degenerate?
And we're back. As a reminder, guys, make sure you get in on the giveaway! Win stuff. We're giving away a mystery set of level up dice at the end of the stream, as well as a couple drawings for merch and things. So make sure you get in on that. So, guys, at this point, you guys kind of begin fiddling with the various tapes and things and trying to go through the archived footage. And it looks as though this individual, this Carl Schmidt, had either he was an engineer or he had somebody design a very complex system for him to kind of store this footage. At this point, you kind of see there's this very elaborate kind of deck of tapes that appears to automatically pull from a set of blank tapes every time one gets full, and kind of then archive them above that. So it's this. I would say it's a faster than average tape deck for back in the time too. It's very quick. You kind of notice it. Apparently, just kind of wraps up the end of one of the tapes. You see it go as it kind of swaps the tapes around. At this point. You guys do find a small control panel. Do any of you have any computer-related skills?
Probably
no.
not what we're looking for.
Like-
Come on, nerds.
I'm not there.
It's not high.
I would say as they're fiddling with it, none of them really have computer skills. That yes, Tabitha, you would have arrived at this point.
I'm gonna bust in the door and just.
Poopers!
Oh my goodness.
Okay, that's it. We're getting her a bell for sure.
Downstairs in the basement. Downstairs in the basement. There's a door. There's a door that shouldn't open, but it opened. There's a door that shouldn't open, but it opened.
Okay, breathe.
Slow down. Slow down.
Breathe.
She's gonna start
So there's-
patting her pockets. And
What do you mean there's a door that shouldn't open, but it opens?
You okay?
I forgot my inhaler.
Listen, breathe. Calm down.
There's
Take
kegs in the
deep
basement.
breaths.
There's kegs in the basement, but there's no wine inside. There's a door inside. And the door opens, and there's stuff inside.
What kind of stuff? Did you look? What did you see?
Why would I stay? I don't want to die.
Because you okay, all right.
Was something chasing you?
No.
No.
Wait, hun.
So-
Why are you so scared?
So you ran away from a
Because
door
that's not
you
where
opened.
doors are supposed to go. That isn't where a door belongs. It doesn't belong inside of a keg. It belongs in a wall, like that one.
Okay, so it was a secret door. Okay.
Why aren't you
Me-
all in?
But
one-
you didn't look inside, right?
It was dark.
Okay.
It was dark, right?
I
come
think
on.
I mean, you
I think
you didn't
maybe we
look, so you
It
don't know.
could be.
Touche, GM, touche.
I think maybe we should go see what's in the door.
I'm
What
not going
about the
first.
tapes?
While you catch
someone
your
needs
breath.
to stay here and in case the phone rings. So maybe
Tab-
whoever stays can look at the tapes.
Tabitha, you're a little out of breath. Would you like to sit down, maybe go through some tapes for a minute while we check out this door that you found?
Yeah, because I want to see it real bad.
What kind of tapes?
These videotapes.
We found a surveillance system and we just had a phone call with James.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's right.
He said he's going to call back.
Yes, and one of us
So you all are
needs to
clearly
be-
delusional. So I think there's some kind of hysteria in the
No,
house.
no.
We should all just go. We should go.
No. We found the surveillance system. It's here.
This is it.
We picked up the phone, or Brock picked up the phone, and it immediately rang to James.
That's
so we talked to him, and it sounds like he knows about the discs that we found. He was familiar with that. And he said that he's sending us help. But it's gonna be a day or two. And he said he's gonna call back on this phone, but we need to answer when he calls back.
And you said something about military, didn't you? He was making a pretty big stink about all this.
It seems like this is really serious. So I think we need to find out all we can. And we're hoping on these surveillance tapes somewhere there's video of whoever was in here the other night, or maybe we can find out whose blood we found outside. So we need to figure out this archiving system so we can look back at the tapes. Do you think that's something you can do, Tabitha?
Well, it depends on what you're looking for. You just
Well,
want
you
to
know
look at the tapes from last night?
You know how there are those boots, the boot prints out in the hallway? I'd like to know who left those and maybe where they went, because it's still a bit of
Right.
a head
I
scratcher.
can't just surveil boots or boot tracks. I need like a time frame to find that.
Would I be able to give her kind of like an accurate time frame of like how dry the dirt was?
Based on your previous rolls, yeah, probably within an hour or two.
Okay. So I'm thinking about yesterday around this time right here. I'll write it down just so you don't misplace that. Somewhere around there, maybe, an hour either end.
Yeah, no, I got it. Your penmanship is awful. I'm gonna take a look at the tapes to see if there's any cataloging system that would be close to what I would be familiar with, having been in a lot of libraries.
Okay. Do you have a computer skill?
No.
Do you have then? Obviously, I know you have librarian, but before that, do you have accounting as well?
I do have accounting.
Okay.
But I left it low because I'm poor.
Dumb stat. Yeah.
That's
So I'm like bad at it. Like
sure. So first, I'll say make a library roll then, or
Okay.
like a librarian.
that's a success with a 78.
Okay. As you kind of take a look around, you're not super familiar with the computers, but as you kind of like single finger type through a few of the things, it does seem that there's some form of cataloging system. This OS itself appears to either have been custom written or something. It's a little difficult to say. It doesn't appear to be any form of Unix or Windows as far as you guys know, which none of you have computer skills anyway, so you don't know what that is. And that's a real life thing too.
Right. Just call us dumb, Mason. Just say we're dumb.
So, go ahead. Do make an accounting roll.
Oh God, you really don't want me to do that.
I'll give you a bonus die.
I still don't think this is gonna go in my favor.
Probably not.
Oh yeah, there was no way I possibly could have succeeded based on without.
Okay. If you think you can probably find it, it's going to take you a little more time to navigate these kind of archaic menus, or what seems to you to be archaic menus at the very least.
It'll take me a little while. I think I can find that time frame though.
All
All right. Well, I guess we can go check out down there
You said it was a door in a keg?
in the
Yeah.
basement.
Did you leave it
Like
open,
several
Tabitha?
times.
Did you leave it open?
Mhm.
Okay,
Oh, all right.
so it's still open.
Where
Does anyone
is
have
the
a flashlight or anything?
Do I have a flashlight? I'm always prepared, ma'am.
You do. Okay. Well then, we have a flashlight. So
Where is the basement?
Where's the basement, Tabitha?
It's basically it's going to be on what we'll call the left side, the kind of like the western side of the house. Just for ease of direction, when you guys are facing the house from the outside, the front of the house, you're facing the northern direction, so the house itself is facing south, so the left side of the house. If you kind of make your way towards the end of the hall there does appear to be kind of behind the kitchen area. If you were to look a little closer there, there's a door that kind of exits into the hall there, and then behind that there's a door down to the cellar.
Okay,
Okay.
let's head down there.
All right. How old is this house, by the way? Would we have any idea of like when this was built?
You probably wouldn't.
Well, I probably wouldn't, but would someone in the
I
group
might.
maybe know?
I would say if you guys want to roll anthropology and or appraise, you can certainly do that. If you want.
Are you guys-
I'll
Still
I'll
near
roll
me?
a praise.
Okay.
Are they still in the same room as me right now?
Yeah. So far they haven't left.
Bust.
Failure.
Okay. Yeah, you don't know.
Maybe it's like one of them prohibition houses. Maybe all these walls are hollow.
Yes, during Prohibition, they most certainly would have hid what they didn't want people to find in kegs. Wine cellar. That would make lots of
Ouch.
sense.
Well, I mean, we didn't see that basement. I didn't know where it was. Maybe that's where it was hidden.
Do you know what Prohibition?
Let's just go. Let's just go.
Let's.
Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's just
Okay,
go, y'all.
we're going.
So the three of you go, leaving Tabitha to her search through the footage. On your way down the stairs, you do see as Dodge and Barbara enter the house.
Well, where are you guys headed?
Look, Brock, we found
Oh,
walker
hey!
talkers.
So
Walker
upstairs,
talkers.
Tabitha's. Wait, walkie. What?
Yes, look, we actually have a reliable way to communicate when we're not standing right next to each other.
Oh, cool. That's pretty cool.
That's good.
So,
Yeah.
meanwhile, upstairs, Tabitha, she's trying to look at the videos to see if she can find out who was in that hallway. But she found a weird trap door in the basement. So we're just about to go down there and take a look at it if y'all want to come.
Wait, you found security footage. You found the security
Or
terminal.
you can go to her too. Yeah, that's fine.
Was it in
Well,
the secret room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
You
that's
guys
convenient.
take one of the walker talkers and we'll go upstairs with Tabitha.
Let me just
All right.
yeah, here. I'm gonna hand one to them. I'll hold on to the other walkie-talkie.
Okay, yeah, you
Let me-
guys go see if you can help Tabitha. Maybe Miss Barbara, maybe you'll be helpful for her.
I'm gonna
Well, we
make
can
sure that
see.
they're synced. By the way, the frequencies that they're in the same one.
Yeah, you guys turn them to the same channel. Kind of give it a quick test. You do hear
And
them
she's
both
a
go.
little bit shaken up too. So Don't, like,
the
barge
door
in or
kinda
something.
Scared her. Nothing
Yeah.
happened, but the door scared her.
yeah,
she seems a little jumpy though, to be fair.
Little
She's
bit
afraid
squirrely.
of doors.
Yeah.
We just had an interesting conversation with somebody behind a door.
Riley seems afraid of doors.
That probably would have
Wait.
terrified her.
what did Riley say?
Well, he was as helpful as he was before. The only thing we really got out of him was that he knows nothing, except a couple of his colleagues seemed to act weird upon entering the house. Now, he said that he initially was not affected in the same way, but between Barbara and I, we feel like there may be a little something inside that he's not telling us.
Well, we actually had an interesting phone call with James. Jane, tell him about our phone call with James.
Cricky, you're Jane.
I didn't hear the name
Oh.
on that for some
Oh,
reason.
okay.
So
Oh.
I heard no name, and I was.
Are
just
you
like,
all right, Miss
Brock?
Jane?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. Oh, so he was real funny on the phone. He was just kind of telling us, I don't know, nothing real new, nothing that wasn't in the video already.
He's
I
also
didn't
kind of
really learn a
avoiding
lot.
he avoided telling me what kind of line of work they're in. He sidestepped that one pretty quickly.
But he did mention an occult war.
Oh, was that what he talked to you about?
Well, he mentioned Nazi occult,
That's
like
right,
a
that's
a
right.
Nazi cult.
And for
Oh.
for
And
The
reference,
discs.
you guys do know he was a veteran of World War II. I would say, do any of you guys have anthropology?
I got
No, but I served in the war as a nurse.
You know what? do any of you have any history relevant skills or any sort of I don't know if that.
all I've got is law. Like that's
Yeah. All right.
and I
So,
don't think that really pertains.
but based on
Oh,
what?
I have history.
Oh,
Okay. Roll history, and I will give you a bonus die on it. Google, nobody's talking to you.
would you like to order 12 Nazi zombies?
Classify your nickname as the Nazi.
I meets it, beats it.
Okay. Just based on what you know so far, and what was told to you guys on the phone, just the name Carl Schmidt, as you think about it, that's a German name. Based on what he told you, it sounds as though the two of them were on opposite sides of the war. and at the very least, they saw eye to eye on something that it sounds like a particularly occult group of Nazis was doing something that they didn't like, so they decided to stamp that out. You don't know how many other people may have been involved. You don't know what the specifics are, but at the very least, you can put that much together, that this man was in fact German himself and served in the war as well, it sounds like. Kind of begins to add up why he may have secluded himself out here, given the things he's seen and the things he may have been a part of or party to. So, as they're kind of relaying this to you, Dodge and Barbara, anything you guys are doing?
Well, you go on downstairs. We'll go upstairs. Dodge, do you mind carrying old Barbara?
It would be my pleasure.
And watch the hands, okay?
Tell her to sit the same thing.
Oh, I will. Trust me.
Brock, you use your hands, young man.
Look,
Not
guys,
right now.
there's clearly something weird going on here. Something dangerous. That's the one sure thing that we learned from Riley. Let's just be careful.
We shouldn't be in here at night. I think it's worse.
I would agree with that. What time is it?
I was about to tell you that. At this point, I would say you guys have given the time you've spent, you've sat down, looked at blueprints, all that sort of thing. It's a little past midday. It's probably around 2, maybe 3 p.m.
But wait, we were talking upstairs and we said that because we need to stay by that phone. James told us to. And so we were thinking that maybe we could all stay in that room tonight.
I mean, a
together,
panic
see
room
what
is pretty
happens?
easy. Pretty easy to keep safe. It's one entry, one exit.
All right. I think that's a solid plan.
All
I
right,
don't think
well, y'all
anybody's
do
going to stop us. I don't think Riley's coming out of his trailer anytime soon. So it seems like we got effectively free range of this place.
Yeah. Earlier, whenever I tried to get him upstairs, man, he pulled away hard.
Yeah.
He's
Is
pretty
the
strong
panic
for a little
room
skinny man.
upstairs?
Yeah, it is.
It's in the study.
I don't know if I want to stay in a panic room.
Well, perhaps you bunk with Riley just for the night.
Do you think he'll open his door?
I'll make him open that door.
I would also help removing the door.
You can put it back up though, right?
Just don't put it in front of Tabitha. She might run away.
That's a weird one.
I was gonna say something. Okay, yeah. So while we got these walkie-talkies, I think we should check in with each other every, I don't know, half hour or so. If there's anything weird, any foul play, get on the horn and let us know, okay? And we'll do the
Alright.
same.
That is very smart.
Well,
And
thank you.
stick
Man.
together. None of that going off by yourself crap.
I agree. And I'm looking at him very closely. Do not wander off.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going
Okay.
to turn and just walk away as he says that.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
And to be
Kinda
clear,
shake my head.
you're heading towards the cellar, Brock, and then who all is following him? Okay. Michelle, where are
Yeah,
you going?
Michelle and Jane.
Michelle and Jane are going with Brock. Okay.
Yeah.
And the other two of you are going upstairs. Okay.
Yep, I'm gonna
Um,
carry Barbara gingerly up the stairs.
I would say, very good. So you guys make your way up there. As this point, as Brock begins heading off towards the cellar, Brock, you notice you've made your way there a little faster than you were expecting. And the other two of you, you don't know how you don't know how you didn't ever see him run. You didn't see him sprint or
I
anything.
kind of like hastened after him.
And you did, and yet somehow, at his regular walking speed, you notice he ends up at the end of the hall significantly before you.
Brock, are you some kind of like speed walker?
What
I'm
just
pretty
happened?
fast. I don't know. Why what took you guys so long? Was that kid just keep going or?
No, as soon as you turned around, I skittered after you, and I just couldn't even catch up. And then I turned the corner, and you were already down. I mean, you didn't. I didn't see you run. Did you run?
Nah, these colors don't run, sweetheart.
Okay.
Wait, did that hallway seem long to you, Brock, or did it seem short?
It seemed as long as it did when we came in.
Huh.
So you're telling me that this doesn't make any sense. I think you just were walking slower than you thought.
I mean, it seemed like a pretty long hallway to me. Did it to you, Jane?
Yeah, pretty long. Yeah.
I think it's all
I
just
don't
in
know,
your
maybe
imagine-
we
We
should
all are
just-
just being jumpy.
I
Remind
think
me of
Tabitha's
bookworm
gotten
up
under our
there.
skin.
I think that's it. I think you're right.
Okay, well, let's go check out this hidden room.
All right, let's go.
As we walk away, I'm gonna like keep my eye on them a little bit to make sure that like we're all walking together.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are at this point. You're at the door, which is again standing burst open. You see the light switches on. You see the fluorescent lights. A couple of them are just flickering a bit, but they seem to be holding steady down in the cellar there. It's a relatively short staircase, not like a full story descent. And you guys begin to make your way down. Meanwhile, as the two of you, Barbara and Dodge, you make your way up into the study where you see behind the bookcase. You see kind of working feverishly Tabitha. And Tabitha, roll me a luck. Just roll me a luck roll.
I haven't done one of these before.
It's going to be work the same way, whatever your luck is.
Where is my luck?
That's a good question.
Found it. Just kidding. It's fine.
Yeah. Little JK.
Both cocked. Gotta reroll.
Easy roll.
So I failed.
Okay. You're doing your best to kind of go through this archiving system. You don't find the footage as you're going through. You start kind of like you think you're on the right tape, and you sit there and you're like, you kind of have it playing at double speed. You kind of speed it up a little more. You do see at this point you see Carl kind of making his way around the house, just doing his various rounds, eating. You watch as he you kind of flip to another tape, another camera view. You see he walks into the study, and you watch as you see as he, and again, there's no audio for this, I should note. All kind of old black and white, CCTV
Closed
style footage.
circuit.
Yep.
Kind of stuff.
Correct. You notice he kind of like perks up for a moment and seems to yell for somebody to do something, like not like scream, but like just like calling to help. As you flip around the tapes a bit more, you watch as one of his butlers, it seems like, goes to the front door and answers it. He opens it kind of just a little bit at first. A few words are exchanged. You see as whoever this man gets led inside. You see as the door closes. This man, relatively, we'll say kind of strangely stately dressed, kind of in a suit. He's got kind of slicked back black hair and a short cropped black beard. He seems to largely be ignoring this butler now that he's been led inside, and you see he makes his way, as you kind of flip through the various tapes, so there's different camera views, he makes his way straight up the stairs to the study, where they begin having a conversation. You watch as it begins to grow a little heated, with eventually you watch as Carl pulls a gun out from under his desk and points it at the man and seems to be telling him to leave. The man seems to glare back, but does eventually leave. At this point, as you're kind of combing through this footage, you do see, I would say you rather hear as Barbara and Dodge begin approaching.
Tabitha.
Yeah, hi.
So, did you find anything interesting at the security terminal?
Well, I mean, there's lots of tapes. There's an argument on this one. There's nothing weird though. Just people.
Are the tapes labeled by day? Are they labeled at all?
Don't you think that I would have found the right tape if they were labeled by the day?
I'm gonna turn to Barbara. They were right. She's a bit jumpy.
Are the tapes labeled in any way?
There's a weird system. I can't make out exactly where each tape lies in chronological order. To be honest with you, I don't think the person who set this up was very smart. It could have been done way better.
Well, I'm a fast learner. Maybe I could take a look. I've never used a computer, though.
So
Got him.
what are you going to use? What skill are you trying to use to take a look at this computer, Barbara?
Can I use education to learn how to use it?
Oh, that's so
Sure.
wholesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll an education.
Can I
check.
assist with
You
like
know
my
how
mechanical
high my
understanding?
education is, right?
Are you okay?
Yours is real high. Yeah.
okay.
Or maybe I listen to her. Maybe I pay attention and learn myself.
You might.
That's a hard success.
Okay. Is Barbara's let me and she kind of sits down in one of the chairs there and you begins
I'm in.
well
Hacks in the mainframe.
I would say
Just like-
Barbara at the very least is probably familiar with typing on a keyboard, just having used typewriters and things in the past. So she does appear to be kind of traversing through the system relatively quickly. It is a kind of a digital retrieval system for an analog set of tapes. It takes you a bit of digging to kind of get it, but you figure it out. So are you going back to the moment you guys were looking for specifically? Okay. You do watch. You kind of go back to the time period which Brock has previously defined for you guys. Basically, what looks like about an hour or two after the storm the previous night, maybe 8:30, 9 in the evening. As you go to the hallway where you see the footprints, you do see at this point a cloaked figure. Same black cloak that you saw empty and bloody in the woods. Or rather that the rest of your party saw and described to you. At this point, you see he's kind of like shaking off like some mud from his feet, and he's kind of like looking around. Seems to be trying to be relatively quiet in the house. He seems to hear something for a moment as he looks around, and then he stops. He seems to suddenly pick up his pace and hurry. You watch as you kind of swap through the different camera views. As he has made his way into the study, you watch as he kind of like quickly scoops up the things and begins to like fold them up. As he goes to make his way back to the door.
Are you guys seeing this right now?
Yeah.
Okay, watch closely. I
I'm
think
gonna,
this
like,
is
get
the man
closer
we're
to the screen.
looking for.
As he begins to make his way back to the door, you notice as he kind of opens the door, and then he kind of just takes a few steps backwards, back towards the window, before you see he begins kind of fiddling with it, trying to get it open, as he kind of just flat out jumps out of the window. And that's about all the footage you're getting of that particular instance.
Oh my god.
Which door was he trying to look for or look out of?
I don't understand. Yeah, the blueprints are gone. Fine. We're supposed to be looking for a book. I don't see a book.
Well,
Can
we
I
have the blueprints.
Can I try to find the footage of the hallway where he was looking out of the door to see
Sure.
what was
Yeah,
he
you
trying to? What was he scared of?
Sure, you absolutely can.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna go to that door physically and see what that vantage point is.
There's something up with these doors.
Doors, the great RPG.
Doors. It's been the doors the whole time.
There's too many of them in this house, and they don't make any sense, and they aren't places that make any sense, and I don't understand it.
Sometimes things defy sensibility.
So sure. I would say, Barbara, as you swap to that camera view, about the same time, you do see, you kind of stay on the one camera view as he makes his way down the hall. You see he kind of closed the door behind him. A few moments later, you watch as he opens the door. Roll me a luck check.
Regular success.
You think just very vaguely, you for a moment, you see the shape of another person, kind of, it's shadowy and dark. The footage is not picking up super great, but you think you see the kind of almost silhouette of another figure step into the hallway and begin slowly making its way down, and then the footage kind of
I would
fizzles
like to
out.
pause it on the figure.
Okay. You kind of rewind a few seconds before the footage began to cut out, and you pause it.
There was someone else in the house he was afraid of.
Must have been pretty terrifying if his only other option was to free fall from this floor.
I don't understand, though. he took the blueprints. Was there something that we missed on the blueprints, or are they just blueprints?
Well, I still have the blueprints, so I'm gonna pull them out.
Mhm.
Well, if you can see here, there's actually several discrepancies that would,
So
that
they
came
aren't
to my
even good
attention.
blueprints.
or purposely misleading.
Then why
You
would
see,
you leave the bad ones here and take the good ones with you?
or at the very least, take any sign of the details, so that we don't understand how the house is wired. This room we're in right now with the security terminal, like, that's not on the blueprints. So I don't understand. Well, I can understand why he wouldn't want us to know if
It's supposed to
wanted
be a
us to not
secret
find it.
room.
But then what makes the blueprints worth jumping out a window?
to keep us from maybe getting this book. These blueprints have answers that they didn't want us to get.
Does it look folded in some weird way? We used to play games when I was a child and had secret messages by folding things.
Oh man, perhaps there's some code or something secret to this. I'm gonna lay it out and see and have Barbara take a look at it. Barbara, do you see anything cryptographic about this?
We'll just try to look at the creases.
Roll me. Do you guys have anything related to this other than spot hidden?
Yes, I got a 90 in origami.
I got navigate, psychology.
Yeah, psychology might apply. There is a science to puzzles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what, Cricky?
I just have spot
this would be
hidden.
an instance where one of your arts and crafts could come in handy if you if you did have origami as a craft. See, this stuff comes up. So I would say roll spot hidden first. The lot of you.
Okay.
Just for future reference, if
Yep.
for some reason I do have to roll for it, what about sewing? Because it's like patterns and stuff.
We could make an argument for it if it comes up. Yeah, we'll think about it.
Trying to get creative over here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you need to do. All right, what'd you guys get?
I failed.
Okay.
Me too.
Me 3.
Okay. There doesn't appear to be anything out of the ordinary about the blueprints as far as you can tell.
I'm just going to take it and fold it once over on itself so that we're looking at the blank back of the blueprint.
Okay.
I don't think it works.
Well,
Yeah, maybe not. What if the other booky one looks at it?
The other
She
Book
owns a
nerd.
bookstore.
I believe the term she's looking for is nerd,
Jane,
dweeb.
Jane, she has a name.
I can't keep up with your lingos nowadays.
That's okay. That's why I'm here for you, Barbara.
At this point, you guys begin hearing what sounds like a little bit of a grinding coming from the tape deck. You watch as the image you had it paused on kind of begins to fizzle out.
Oh no.
As you go check the tape, you quickly try and remove it, but it looks like it's already been ruined.
We
Well,
can't even do like the pencil in the.
No, it is shredded somehow.
Is this
great
now
trick,
my
though.
understanding?
It is a really good trick.
My understanding of these tape decks, are they prone to this, or is this something that was like rigged?
Go
Can I examine?
roll a mechanical check there.
Well, that's very odd. It was
that
paused, not
is-
playing.
That is a hard success.
Based on looking at it, I mean, especially a kind of nice custom unit that was built like this, that generally shouldn't happen. The only thing you can think of is maybe the tape itself was defective.
I'm gonna just a swift smash with my wrench, just out of anger.
Okay.
This thing,
Not necessary.
this thing was. It shouldn't have malfunctioned like that. There was
I don't
concrete
think
evidence
she
there, and now
has.
we don't have it. What did I see when I walked over to the door? What was that vantage point of the door that I had been paused on? What did I see through that door?
It just seemed to go straight down the hallway.
Like back. Okay.
The
What's
place
the
that
very
you-
far end?
Yeah, at the very far end. I don't know. You guys haven't been down there yet.
Okay.
If you memorize the blueprints, I guess you might know. But
Then I'll reference the blueprint and take a look at what would be across the hall.
It looks mainly at the other side, on the other side of the house there. It's mainly bedrooms and that sort of thing.
Well, whatever was in this house had scared him enough to jump out of a second-story window. Now, I think it's safe to say that he was already here when he got here. Hence his hasty attitude towards getting these blueprints, trying to squander any chance we had of finding this book. Perhaps this just confirms the weird occurrences that Riley was talking about.
I think you're right, Dodge.
So the three of you go ahead and roll me a luck check and hold on to those numbers because we're going to go to the other group. So, looks good. So as the other three of you begin making your way down into the cellar, what are you guys doing?
I'm just looking at what's happening, figuring out where that door is.
Okay.
Just kind of observing.
She said she
What's
left
down
the
there?
door open. So
Yeah, she said it was in one of these kegs.
yeah, so we should see where it is.
Everybody go and roll me a spot hit and you'll get a bonus die on this.
Well, I rolled a. I have a question on a bonus die. If on my first roll for my percentile, I already roll a 0, can I re-roll the other die to see if I can get lower?
No.
Because I rolled a 7%.
No, nope.
I got a 14.
Okay.
I got
Which-
55, which is over.
Okay.
7% for me is a extreme success.
And mine's just reg.
Okay. You very quickly spot the kind of discrepancy of the one keg that is just ever so slightly opened. As you kind of glance around this cellar, you do notice, strangely, there are what looks to be an extra set of kind of power lines and ductwork kind of running back to what would be behind where this, assuming what you assume is where the door is that Tabitha had mentioned to you. As you kind of take a look around down here, it does seem just kind of a little eerie, and you can't put your finger on why. You see that one of the lights kind of flicker for a second. As you kind of blink away, you kind of have like what you think is an after image of someone standing there, but you kind of blink again. You don't see anything.
Does everything look like really old?
The lights themselves relatively new fluorescent lights. Obviously the kind of wine racks, the kegs, those sort of things, they do appear to be on the older side. Outside of that, I mean, the floor, it's kind of hard to tell. It's stone. But yeah, at a glance, it's old-ish, I would say.
Y'all, this place gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah,
I
I can see
know.
that.
Yeah, I'm kind of understanding why Tabitha got freaked out.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't the door that freaked her out. It was the whole package down here.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense now, but it's that door right there that's open. Y'all want to go see what it is? I mean, it looks like all that power that Shades was talking about is coming down here.
Yeah. You should get out your flashlight, Brock.
One step ahead of you, ma'am. Want to step up to the door?
Okay. As you kind of
Use my foot.
yeah
Use my foot to open it.
of course tactical as you kind of slide the door open, the hinges swing rather smoothly, leading you to believe that this is certainly newer than what the kegs look like at the very least. Inside you see a hollow empty keg and another much newer looking door. As you kind of go up to it, it's the kind of door you would see either in like a school or a hospital, where it's kind of that heavy metal with the single pane window with the safety glass, like the metal running through it. And it appears to be, as you kind of make your way in and take a look at it, it appears to be like kind of perfectly sealed all the way around, like airtight.
Do I see anything through the small window while like flashing my flashlight in it?
Go ahead and roll me another check, please. Spot hidden.
With a bonus die?
Because a flashlight, is that what you're trying to argue?
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. That is a 24 out of 25.
Okay, so that's a success. As you kind of like lean in, kind of doing your best, a little bit of the glare from the glass kind of reflecting, so you have to kind of put your, shield your face as you kind of get up close. You begin looking into the hallway, which you see in front of you, almost a T-shaped hallway. There is apparently a room at the end. You see another door straight at the end. You can't see very far to the left or right, but it appears that the hall goes left and right as well as straight ahead. In the darkness, nothing immediately standing out. However, actually, you rolled a regular success?
It was regular success, yeah.
Okay, that's all you get.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It looks like there's a whole other hallway down here, a bunch of rooms. I can see one at least. Looks like there's a
Wait.
T. It goes left and right.
So there's a door, and then there's another door.
That seems to be what it looks like, yeah.
Seems to be about as useful as a screen door on a submarine to me.
I'm just telling you what I saw, okay, Jane?
Was there anything in that room?
I don't know. We'll have to go in. I can't make it out from here.
Let's go check it out.
We should radio in real quick.
Yeah, we probably should. I'm gonna try the door just to see if it's like unlocked and openable.
Okay. As you kind of go up and check the handle, I would say, you know what? Sure. As you kind of turn the handle, you hear a bit of a mechanical click. The handle turns. You feel just a slight thunk in the door. You feel almost as if a small deadbolt has kind of slid out of place, and you see lights flicker on in the hallway on the other side.
All right, we're gonna have to find a way to keep this door open. I don't exactly like the idea of. Did you guys hear those machinations? I guess you'd call them.
Yeah, that sounded odd. Okay, let's
hello?
radio in and let them know. Okay, Jane. Thank you.
Yeah, you got Dodge.
Hi there, it's Jane.
Well, hello, Jane. How are things going down there in the dungeon?
So we found that door, and inside that door was another door. So we're gonna go through that door, and it looks like it leads to a hallway. But we just thought we'd check in first.
Well, things are fine up here. We looked through the tapes. We actually found out some interesting information about what happened that night, last night when the
Tell
blueprints were
them
taken.
about the door.
We saw a guy, the cloaked figure that supposedly ran off bleeding into the woods, and he was spooked by something. We barely got a glimpse of it that caused him to actually jump from the second story window. Whatever it is, we didn't get the best look at it, but we suspect that it was in the house beforehand.
Wait, who jumped out of the window?
This cloaked
There
figure.
we
You
go.
guys said you found a cloak in the woods.
Yeah.
The figure who owns that cloak.
Gotcha.
So he
Well,
saw something that scared him so badly he jumped out of the window.
Maybe it
Yes.
was his ex-wife.
But wait, he just came in to steal those blueprints?
Well, that leads us to our second conclusion. We think that because these blueprints were integral to us finding the book, by removing the blueprints from the equation, it's much more difficult to get this book. So, these blueprints, they lead us somewhere. There's something on this map here that tells us exactly where we need to go.
Okay, well, we're in the basement and we're about to go through a door.
Is there anything on the blueprints about the basement door?
Yeah.
That's
Maybe we
wonderful-
can guide them.
This is a very good plan. Here, Barbara, could you hold on to the walkie-talkie for me? I'll unravel the blueprints again.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
I will say go ahead and roll a spot hidden check, but I'll give you 2 bonus die on this one.
Ooh. While all this is going on, can I be looking around to try and find something to jam into that door? You know how like there's a little crack in the door when it's open?
Sure. I mean, whatever would be down there, you can try and find.
Piece of wood, something.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt. I
No, go ahead.
apologize.
What is it?
Yeah, that's fine.
You had us roll a luck, and then hold on to the numbers.
Correct.
You want us to still hold on to the? Okay.
Well, yeah, we'll come back after you guys finish this. Yes.
Okay. And I rolled an extreme success.
Okay.
On that spot hidden.
At what first you thought were perhaps some of the power cables that may have been running underneath the floor, you take a closer look and realize that perhaps they could be running on the ceiling of this somewhat hidden level. As you kind of take a look back, that does seem to be the case. There is no rooms. There are no rooms listed there, but it does look like perhaps that whatever's down there may map to that somewhat.
So those power lines effectively create a map of these hallways.
Roughly, you think, yes.
Okay. And I only see hallway and corridors. I don't, or as in like I only see the main.
I mean,
right?
you
It's
see
not
lines
branching off anywhere.
You see,
Okay.
you see the lines kind of making their way about. I just want to say that
So
justice is
jealous.
amazing.
I'm so jealous. It's ridiculous.
All right,
I don't
so,
want to talk about it.
I'm like, if I put my hands up, maybe someone will bring me something.
No.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, you get a decent idea. It looks like there are maybe, as best you can tell, maybe 4 rooms down there. It doesn't appear to be a huge number of them. But again, from without having an actual blueprint, it looks as though these at least as far as what you see on the blueprint, the wires are shown kind of going to 4 separate places. Now, whether there's anything beyond that, a little difficult to tell.
Do they originate under the carriage house then, or at least from within that area? Like, is that where they're originating from?
One of them certainly does.
Well, isn't this interesting? So, Barbara, my
Yeah.
dear, could you hot mic that walker talker for me real quick?
Well, sure. I guess so. All right. Yeah.
So, upon closer inspection of these blueprints, it looks like what I was confusing for underground HVAC and power cables actually ended up being the running along the ceiling of these underground hallways that you guys are in right now. Now, I don't have.
We see. Oh,
You
see them?
interrupt him. I forgot. He's still talking.
Yeah, he just keeps talking.
Yeah.
Is that something? Can you guys locate those above you?
Over.
Yeah, we see him. They're right there.
Over. As you guys look up, it does look like there is a series of cables and pipes kind of bundled along the ceiling. They kind of
Very interesting.
Yeah,
as
I
you
noticed
kind of
them
look,
when I came down.
you look inside the open door, and they do seem to split into a couple different places. Yes.
Huh. Well, what I effectively have here then is a very, very rough map of this
Do
underground
you
network.
want me to push the button again?
That would be very much appreciated, Barbara.
Okay. Here you go.
What I effectively have here is a rough mapping of this underground network. Over.
Over.
Why do they both say it over like that?
I don't know, honestly. Well,
Are you
guys,
still there?
Oh,
Just say over. It's going to be the only way to get them to stop.
over.
I didn't hear you say anything. Over.
Well, no, that's all we got to tell you, Miss Barbara. We're gonna go in now, and y'all, we're gonna tell y'all where we go.
Can you ask him
Over.
if there's like a position where more of the wires are kind of converging? See where all this power's going?
Hey there, Mr. Dodge. Do you see a place where all them wires is ending up in one? Over.
Barbara?
I'm pushing the button.
So
You
looking
hear
at
her
the
say that?
yes, you would hear her say, "I'm pushing the button."
Yes. I saw her finger go first. I'm like, oh,
Yes.
dang.
Dodge, what you can see is it looks like there are essentially 3 junction boxes down here. So what it looks like is the power kind of comes in from a few different sources. It looks like some of them strangely come from places not marked on here. You see the one power source that you know of out in the shed that does seem to be kind of running in from the one side. You also notice, though, that the power kind of seems to run in from a couple other sides. So the kind of east and west rooms here have power there, and then they meet a junction box, and they seem to head to a room past the room that is straight ahead of them. So there are 2 rooms here, one here, and then one kind of further past that.
Well, as a matter of fact, it looks like there's 3 conduits here where the wires are bunching up. Now, one of them I actually, by happenstance, know is underneath the garage, or I assume underneath. There might be an entrance, an access point there. The other 2 don't seem to be, originating in any specific room in the house. In fact, it looks like they're unknown. So perhaps we start where we know is familiar. Maybe perhaps head towards the garage conduit.
Over.
What do y'all think? That sound good?
Sounds good to
Sounds
me.
like a good plan. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Over.
One more time, Barbara.
Pressing the button.
She's gonna do that every time, isn't she?
Probably.
I find it endearing. I think we'll head down to the garage, see if we can gain access from that direction. Perhaps we meet somewhere in the middle. Over.
Over.
You think that they're done talking because Miss Barbara didn't say over.
Are you still there? Over.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you say over, so I didn't know if you were done. Over.
Well, I was letting Dodge do it. Over.
Do
Well,
what
that makes
over?
A lot of sense.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so as this conversation wraps up,
Over.
Over and out.
I'm glad we got
Hey,
these walker
wait, what
talkers
direction do we
over.
go?
so Dodge.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So Brock, you do find like a kind of spare plank. You think maybe you can get it under there. It's not the best fit. This door again is kind of it has a material underneath to make sure.
I'm
that
not putting it
flush.
underneath. I'm putting it in the like. So you know how the door is gonna come in, and there's gonna be when you open it, there'll be like a triangle, like near the hinges. I'm jamming
Yes,
it in
yes,
the
yes,
hinge.
yes. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, instead of underneath.
Okay, yeah, you can get it in there. That's what she said.
Hey, right in that
so-
triangle.
So
He said it.
yeah, it's true. All right, so you guys do make your way inside. It looks as though the kind of power cables that made they're making their way in from this shed. They are the ones that are running directly overhead of you guys. So basically, they look like they run straight ahead. They're kind of contained up into that point. They're contained in kind of a larger pipe, a larger conduit, kind of to contain all of them in this one nice kind of bundle. As you look up as you kind of lean back out from where the keg is, you see that it's a decently sized conduit. Like maybe a small person could even fit inside of it, kind of to do work and things as they need to. But other than that, as you kind of step through looking into this hallway, which itself is very sterile, white. Again, these kind of fluorescent lights kind of giving a bit of an eerie kind of buzz to the otherwise silent hallway. As you look at the kind of shiny white tile floors, it gives you this very sterile hospital sort of feel.
Okay.
Y'all,
Yeah.
I guess we just follow witch somewhere.
I think we should take a look around. If we can't get under that fourth room, maybe one of you little ladies can hop up in the vents there and crawl through.
Okay, I don't think I was clear enough. So, the conduit running into there,
Yeah.
once it gets past the wall where the keg is, you can see the exposed, like they're bundled up top, but they're kind of exposed wires and cabling at that point.
Oh, it's only outside of the thing that it's the
Correct. It
conduit.
seems
Okay.
to be. It almost looks, kind of looking at it, it's kind of poorly disguised, almost like it's supposed to be like a structural part of the house, but
A
knowing what.
bulkhead.
Yeah, but knowing what runs through there, you think that it's just purely so that at a glance, people don't see that there's power cables running behind that wall.
Okay. All right. I guess we go exploring.
Right.
All right. So the other three of you, what are you guys doing at this point? Because you've kind of gotten off this conversation. What did you make on your luck rolls for reference?
I made it an extreme success.
Okay.
I mean, sorry. Yeah, extreme success. In my head, I keep
Critical should always be before extreme. I'm with you there. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I made a hard success.
Okay.
I failed.
All right. So
And I helped.
you begin to just get this feeling that there's a little more to these tapes, and as you kind of just begin kind of like just going through a few of them really quick, you do notice that it does seem like, first of all, that as you kind of quickly kind of watching them at 10x speed or whatever, you notice that this man Carl does appear to disappear into the cellar for long periods of time, sometimes even maybe more than a day. However, you notice after you kind of spend time kind of quickly going through these, skipping to the next day, because he seems to have a schedule, you notice one day it stops. He stops going down to the cellar. He begins spending a lot more time in his study.
Does he look like he's avoiding the cellar?
Roll a psychology check. I'll let the three of you guys roll for that.
Roll for what?
Psychology to see if it looks like he's avoiding the cellar.
Finally,
Look at them two of you.
extremely successful.
I am
Yes.
also extremely successful.
He
all them brainwaves.
he does appear to be avoiding it for some reason. You see as he is kind of seems to be looking for an answer to something as he goes back and forth to the library. You see as he carries around with him not the notebook that Jane picked up earlier, but another small kind of leather-bound notebook that he appears to have been kind of writing in. As you kind of glance through, he kind of goes back and forth to his bedroom a few times, leading you to believe that it may be in there somewhere. As you
The notebook, you mean?
there may be a notebook from him. Yes.
Okay, so because I would have otherwise seen it when I was like pulling things off the shelves. So can I safely say it's not in the study?
Yes.
Okay.
As
I
you look
think
through.
there's a book in his bedroom.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel that's true too.
I would say additionally, you notice coincidentally, seeing as how you got three rather good successes there, there were at some point, the further back you go in the tapes, there were a good number of people that kind of seemed to be helping him in this place. Strangely, you notice a couple of them, lab coats, occasionally disappear down to the cellar with him. As you kind of dig a little further, you notice that one day those people, they don't resurface. And you notice that a few more days, as you kind of go into it, maybe another month goes by, you notice that most of his help is gone. There's maybe 2 people left. And then as you kind of now figure out the timeline, when that man showed up and had the argument, Tabitha, that you saw, that was the last time that any of you guys saw any of the help. In fact, as you kind of try to trace his movements after this, you notice one night that Carl goes into the study. He goes to exit the study, and then he does not appear on any of the other footages, any of the other tapes, anywhere.
This is very strange.
So
It doesn't
everyone,
amount to a hill of beans.
everyone went into the basement and then didn't come back out of the basement, and that's where our friends are right now, right?
Barbara, turn the walkie-talkie on.
Okay, hang on. Let me find the button. There it is. Okay, button's on.
And at this point, I need you to roll me a luck check, Barbara.
Okay. That's a hard success.
Okay.
So successful.
Hard success. So you do you push the button at this point. You guys do hear kind of crackling on the other end. It seems as though you're having a harder time getting reception in this room, in this kind of hallways. You've kind of begun looking around. But before we get to that, as they've been looking for a little bit kind of through the tapes, I will say that started before the first walkie call, and then it's kind of wrapped up after. But what are you guys doing? Are you just going to try and explore the rooms at random?
Yep.
Okay.
I want to go down the right side and check the right room.
Okay. You
instead of the
guys
one right in front.
make your way into the right hall. You make your way down. It seems to go into an open room. First, I need you all to roll me spot hidden, as you were.
I rolled 69. I don't see shit.
I rolled a 3.
Ooh.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
Okay. The two of you do notice, and perhaps perhaps it's because nobody's been in here for a little bit. You don't know if the life, kind of the HVAC in those systems, maybe because they weren't running, some condensation built up or something like that. But you notice there's a very, very thin layer of fog that seems to kind of be laying across the ground here. It strangely seems to kind of recede in places, kind of gathered up into bunches where the light is less visible, or where I would say where the light reaches less would be the better way to put that sentence.
Brock, can you shine your flashlight in the corner?
Yeah, I can do that.
You watch as he shines it in the corner, the kind of bit of mist that is gathered there. You watch as it kind of scatters and disperses away from the light. Or so it looks.
What are you checking for?
That's really weird. Try shining it over there in that other corner.
This one?
Same thing happens.
Why does it seem like the fog is running from the light?
Fog
And
running
am
from
I the
light?
only one seeing that?
No, you're right. I saw it. It's kind of weird.
As you now, however, make your way into this other room, it seems to have a bit of a stench about it as you now make your way into this small open area. You look, there are along the walls what appear to be these large metal drawers of sorts.
Can I go check the drawers?
Yeah, as you kind of open one, this kind of reeking stench pours out as inside you see the remains of a dead body.
Whoa. Is this a morgue or something? I mean, there's a dead body.
It sure smells like one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Close it. Oh.
And I just slam it closed.
You quickly close it back. The bit of stench seems to pervade the room. At this point, the other three of you, as you kind of go to raise them on the walkie-talkie, you don't know when you lost track of time, but as you notice, as you look outside, the sun, it's while still in the sky, is very quickly beginning to descend. And as it does so, those of you in the basement, unaware of what's happening upstairs, you do hear the of the door closing behind you. And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Doors, man. These freaking doors. I'm about to take all the doors off the damn hinges.
I was-
You're evil.
I
You
was
thought I
gonna
was being
say-
a lunatic. You thought I was being crazy.
Oh, they call me the door scared.
They scary doors.
Door
I was gonna
phobic.
say it's starting to get late. You should probably get out of the basement, but no.
And yes, I will say that transmission comes through a little garbled and late as the door has just shut behind them. So, guys, thank you so much for playing tonight. I appreciate all of the support. And Dahlia, thank you for that resubscription. Always a DM. Thank you for that subscription. I appreciate it. All of the players, you guys did fantastic tonight. If you're not already following all of these beautiful people, definitely make sure that you do so because they're amazing. And while I'll say that while Diana does not have her own stream, she's streaming regularly for Level Up Dice and she's crushing it. So make sure
You
you go.
have to say that.
No, I
You're
don't.
under contractual obligation.
Let me read through the script. Make sure I said all the things I was
Right.
supposed to say.
Touch points.
Do I
All
still get my free?
done.
I still get my free stuff, right? As long as I. Okay.
We'll talk about it. There have
Okay.
been some revisions to that plan.
Oh.
so-
Okay.
Oh.
Anyways, that's on twitch.tv/levelupdice, so make sure you go follow them if you aren't already. And if you're not already following us on social media, we would really, really appreciate it. That way you can know when we go live, when we have one-shots. We have a bunch more one-shots coming up real soon. And as well as our next week, we're going to have, again, our normal 2 sessions of D&D on Monday and Wednesday, which I'm very excited about next week's sessions for both of those. As well as next week's going to be packed. Of all the things, because you guys are really getting to the thick of the Call of Cthulhu campaign now, so I'm really excited to see how this goes. So we're going to go ahead. Let's see. Any other announcements or anything I'm forgetting? Oh, Pyre's birthday's tomorrow, so make sure you go check his stream out and go give him some love and support. As well, Ty, I know your hours changed recently, so
Yes.
and he's
Ooh,
getting
new
all of his new
sketch.
art tomorrow, so go check him out as well. And again, all these beautiful people, fantastic, wonderful people, and we're here. I'm here 3 times a week, and a lot of these people are here twice a week. So we really appreciate all the love and support tonight. Who are we gonna kick a raid over to? Let's see who's on.
My idiot brain just was like, Wizard X TV's on.
I literally did
Maybe
the
we
same
should.
thing. We're a little too tired. We're punch drunk tired.
Yeah, it's late, y'all.
I literally did the same thing. I was like, "Who's this nice looking group?" Oh.
Oh, thank God I'm not the only one. That
No,
happened
you
to.
were definitely not. I just wasn't gonna say it out loud.
Just raid Wizard Rex, and then we'll just go for another 2 hours.
Yeah,
Boom.
we'll just go for another 2 hours. Okay,
Just
you know what?
raid infinitely and just stack the viewers and
Yeah, that's
broke
how
the
that
system.
works.
Okay,
I also
bye,
can't stop talking.
guys.
Shit. Guys, I'm gonna kick the raid over to Moop Shark. Super nice guy.
Good dude.
And he's great. I think he's probably still playing. Oh, you know what? Kanoa Daddy's on, and he's playing. Sorry, I want to kick it over to somebody who's actually playing D&D. Let's go kick some love over to them. So have a good night, guys. Thank you. We'll see you hopefully on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And bye.
Bye.
Oh no, I rated the command wrong.
What about the giveaway?
Bye again.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh my
I didn't do it yet.
gosh.
We're good. Guys,
Oh, hey.
there's a giveaway that I forgot again. See, this is why I have people around. Brandon,
I was
thank
gonna
you.
say something,
Thank
but I
you.
wasn't positive.
Exclamation point. This is the last
Diana,
chance.
you have to speak up.
Exclamation
You
point.
won't forget.
I will forget. This is why I have notes.
Blame Diana.
I have intro notes. I need outro notes. So yes, exclamation point. Yeah, somebody clip that. Exclamation point win stuff. We're giving away a set of mystery dice, and we're going to give away also 2 shirts from our merch store. So go ahead and get in right now if you're not already. I need to have Brandon, I just need to give you a direct line to me so that I can just be like, I can pull up my flip phone.
A walker talker.
I forgot the
think would
giveaway.
function nicely.
All right.
All right.
So guys, if you're not already in here, go ahead, get in. I'm going to be closing the giveaway in like 5 seconds.
Go.
Win stuff, exclamation point, win stuff. Get in there. All right. And we're closing the giveaway. All right. So starting with level up dice. Boom, Brandon, you conveniently you won. That's good.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Crazy is that?
Look at that. So congrats, Brandon. We're gonna go ahead and draw 2 more. Let's see. Solar Ace won. Solar Ace won. We won something from the merch store. And Tara and you guys won stuff from the merch store.
Oh my God.
Congratulations.
Hell yeah, dude.
Thank you guys again for your continued support. Just as a note, I do need to update our counter there. We do give away a set of level up dice at every 55 subs. We're actually at 10, not 4, so I'll update that. But make sure you show up for that, and then once we hit the other Vault Dona goal there, we'll give away one of those. So guys, thank you so much. We love you and appreciate it. Now we're gonna kick a raid.
Now it's time.
Yeah. So guys, if you won, shoot me a message on Discord, and we'll get the shipping and all that sorted out. So thank you guys. You have a good night, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
And I will say, I need to get better at the timing of the raid command because we said bye and it's still counting down. So now we have to awkwardly sit here, and then I'm gonna.
It's like that thing where you're both walking.
No,
Right.
freeze frame.
I'm
Ready?
just gonna-
On
I'm-
3, everybody freeze frame. 3, 2, 1, freeze.